killers as well throughout multiple international tournaments, and yet they just had a rough showing while keeping 4 of the original members from last year's VCT Pacific. So, today's question is was that just a blip on the radar, or is there something underlying here for 2024?
As we're seeing our teams arriving to our venue right now, I did see Jesse Vash. He did have a quote saying that the first match in any tournament is always the hardest. It's getting your feet wet and everything. However, we're seeing a lot of amazing debuts here. If we look at Team Secret, and yes, it was quite a topic of discussion, seeing that it wasn't quite the same story for them.
Yeah, it certainly can be the case, but I don't know if Talon would necessarily agree with that sentiment, just given how well their debuts did
look at it right here. They have Governor right up there.
Yeah, he's just been incredible. As we take a look at a lot of the new faces here that are competing in Tier 1 Valorant for the very first time, these guys have just been incredible. Governor, his performance was so astounding, and yes, those are average stats across the maps that he played in the series. That wasn't just a one-time thing with that 340 ACS. That's his average. He had such a whale of a time, and no matter what Secret's trying to do, no matter what they threw at him, it didn't really matter. They just couldn't stop him.
Yeah, Governor was on fire. And a good way to look at that is if you look at May's stats, he looked pretty solid in his first outing in VCT Pacific as well, really living up to the hype that he's had in Japan for so long. But despite those stats, Governor just skews the entire duelist ranking chart. So May is still sitting at 8th because Governor's leading with 340 ACS among the duelists. But it's great to see these new faces, right? Izu continue to perform so well on that T1 roster alongside Xcura. And of course, today we'll see another newcomer, Flashback. He impressed so many people. People seeing that we haven't really seen this style of aim in Korea here in Valorant. So it's exciting to see how much longer he's going to be able to keep that up against the best of the best.
Yeah, I think it's going to be so exciting to see Flashback, not only in this tournament for Kickoff, right? But to see his development all throughout Pacific, because he's been improving so much. He did have those off-season tournaments where it's like, okay, he's still getting his bearings. He's still, learning the ropes and everything. But now we see him now, and look at that. He's on our chart right now.
Yeah, the growth from his debut, and I believe it was the Tenet Invitational, that first map that he was playing, you could say, okay, this guy, he's playing in a tournament with these very known players, worldwide famous players on the side of DRX for the very first time. You could see that it was taking him a little while to really find his footing, but out the gate here, I thought maybe he was going to have a similar slow start, kind of like we had from Karon over on Gen G, but from the outset, he was just looking incredible and continues to do so.
Absolutely. But right now, we are going to put a hold on Flashback story just first, and we are going to go over to our first match of the day, Dfm Vs Ts. And guys, there seems to be a recurring theme here for TS. It seems to be that the Japanese teams are their bane.
Listen,
Dfm wasn't last year.
Yeah. Well, we saw it in the merge video as well, right? Jesse Vash saying it always felt like they were almost there last year, all throughout 2023. They always got to that one match where they could have gone over the line and made it to an international tournament. The difference here is this isn't that match to go into Masters. It's just about staying alive to have that chance. You still have a couple more steps. So, given the history of Team Secret, they need to be able to show a bit more improvement, because what DFM showed in this match against DRX, sure, they lost, but they put up a fight.
Yeah, we already highlighted May, even in a loss, only picking up 16 rounds across the 2 maps that were played. May continued to look absolutely excellent when he was playing there, and also was just a great first contact point for DFM. It ends up going 10-7 in that loss as far as first kills, first deaths are concerned. So overall, pretty much anything was going to be better than what we had seen from DFM last season, to be perfectly honest. But this was leaps and bounds above what we could have anticipated, just given the chaotic influx of players and the departure of players during the offseason.
Yeah, and also I want to give credit to Cess, right? We haven't really seen him too much. He doesn't have too many matches in his career, and we all thought Pupagachi was still going to be part of that starting roster. In that last match, they had Cess playing both maps, and he had a pretty good showing. He was right up there alongside May, providing that support, providing those trades in a lot of these instances. So this is not the same DFM that we saw last year. You cannot underestimate them.
I want to point out as well, speaking of the support that DFM provides to May, right? It's an interesting matchup between him and Jeremy, just because Team Secret basically rearranged everything in the roster to cater to Jeremy being that aggressive duelist. We saw it in the merge video as well. They want him to be that. But if he can't meet May, where May is at, what's that going to do for Team Secret, right? They're going to probably end up in the same position that they were at when they went up against Talon.
We can dig into this further, but something I talked about during the offseason, one of the biggest things that if you want Jeremy to be your primary duelist is going to have to be his opping, right? At some point, the duelist has to be the main opera on a lot of these maps that we have, especially in this map pool. And here's a crazy stat. I mean, in that last match against Talon, Governor had 9 op kills. Ban had 5 to boot, so 14 op kills across 2 maps. Jeremy had 1 single op kill. And I don't want to put it on the guy, but you have to be able to fight back in those long-range battles. That's how you shut down parts of the map.
Yeah, I mean, we just saw those jitters and that uncomfortableness that coming through from him again with that weapon in his hands. But after the departure of Dubstep, he has to be the one to pick this up. It's either that or you have to go for a 2023 EG style play where it's going to be your Sentinel player, your Busio that is taking up that operator. But if nobody else is really feeling comfortable enough to do it, then that onus fully falls on Jeremy.
Yeah, and I also just want to point out the latest additions to the roster, right? Medusa and NDG for the side of Team Secret, the Sentinel matchup that we have here. So other than May, Medusa was also one of those reasons why DFM was able to hold their own against DRX, considering that he was also a very last-minute addition to the roster, right? This is a player that you want to look out for. And you go over to TS with NDG. The stats are there, and up against Talon, he had an ACS that barely broke into 3 digits.
He didn't make 10 kills across 2 maps. I mean, I think that tells the story, right? He just couldn't find his bearings. And to be very fair, I mean, his movement, it looked like he was lost on that map. So that's something they're going to have to really shore up as well in those kind of lurk battles between the 2 Sentinels. But we talked about the duelists. I mean, I'm happy for May, first of all, because he's had so much hype in Japan, right? People saying that he's the next player to look out for along the likes of Laz, Dep, these superstars that are going to carry Japanese Valor. Meanwhile, Jeremy, he's had some hype here and there, but again, it's much more of this, whether you wanted it or not, the pressure is now on you. You are the primary duelist. The movement has to be there. The shots have to be there. And his rifling, we saw some sparks. Yeah, the highlights were starting to try to trickle in, but the opping has to come online.
Yeah, I mean, we know what Jeremy is capable of, but the op has just never been a part of that equation. You know, you think back to him playing on Haven, that 3-second ace that he had right outside of A main. Like, we know that this guy is insane. He can flick, he can hit his shots, he can get those headshots coming through. But right now, the support system that we saw from, just one opening game from Team Secret, it wasn't really there compared to what we saw from DFM, who were enabling May. May walks away with, more deaths overall compared to what Jeremy had in their series, but we also saw increased trading from the side of DFM. They were able to play off the information that May was gathering for the team way better.
Yeah, there were definitely times when Jeremy was kind of left on his own island as well on some of those entries. And just to clarify for some of our viewers, these rankings are within that role, right, of how they've been played. So while we only have 11 teams, obviously we see some double duelist comms come out, and that just goes to show how rough of a time that Team Secret had overall. They just could not support their primary duelist to go in and frag out, create that space, and then get those trades so they can actually lead all the way to the objective, which is the spike.
Jeremy knows that all of this pressure is on him, and you can't get away from it when you're in such a high pressure role and you're the only duelist there in Team Secret. They know that you're relying on you to create that entry, and nobody else can do it. So it is immense pressure, but he knows this. He knew this coming into this 2024.
You can know this, but you have to be able to rise to it. You have to be able to defeat that pressure. Otherwise, it's going to completely crumble you.
It's a competition, right?
Absolutely. Well, let's take a look behind the scenes as we toss it on over on stage for the coaches interview.
Vct Pacific Kickoff 오늘 또 4번째 날을 맞이했습니다. 더 이상 물러날 것이 없습니다. Valiant Champions Tour Pacific Kickoff. There's no place to step back. Today we have TS and DFM match coming up. So I have 2 coaches to greet me. Hello.
안녕하세요.
안녕하세요. And I'll start with DFM coach Asel. I mean, last time you couldn't win the match, but it was really impressive to see May's play. So how can you rate his performance? 이제 또 DFM이 이기지는 못했지만 메이의 활약이 정말 눈부셨거든요. 그래서 어떤 평을 내리실 수 있을지 궁금합니다.
네, 좀 저번 경기는 그래도 저희가 준비해낸 만큼 좀 그냥 만족스러운 경기이기는 했는데, 그래도 좀 아직은 메이가 활약을 하긴 했다만 그래도 평소보다는 그래도 개인적인 퍼포먼스는 아직은 그래도 덜 나왔다고 생각하거든요. 네.
Okay, I think it's quite satisfying, but we have more to go because he has more energy and more skills that we couldn't show at the last match. 그럼 또 다음 질문으로도 이어가 볼게요. 이제 DFM이 TS를 상대하면서 그 전에 경기도 봤을 것 같거든요. 그 전에 경기를 보면서 어떻게 느끼셨을지 궁금합니다. I mean, you must have seen TS's match, latest match. So what do you think about that?
네, TS 좀 일전부터 봤을 때 되게 은근히 기본기도 탄탄하고 되게 좀 맵에 대한 이해도가 높은 팀이라고 생각해서 경기를 하고 있긴 한데 그래도 저희도 네, 많이 준비한 만큼 그리고 좀 선수들도 팀 합도 많이 맞아가고 있는 상태라 네, 오늘은 충분히 이겨낼 수 있지 않나 생각하고 있습니다.
I mean, TS is really well prepared, knowing about the maps really well. So we think that as a good team, but our team is really well prepared for this match. So I think it's we will have the luck to win through the game. So next we interview. The first question is, I mean, your latest match was with Talon, and it was quite rougher than we thought it could be. So any disappointments or improvements you think after the match? 이제 바로 전 경기가 탈론에서 좀 아쉬운 결과로 이어져서 혹시 더 고쳐야 할 점이나 좀 실망한 점이 있으면 어떤 것인지 들어보겠습니다.
Yep, so for us, we really struggled. I think Talon played very well, but at the same time, I thought we played pretty rough. So a lot of it going into today was just keeping our composure, making sure we don't overheat.
네, 저희도 물론 충분히 잘했지만 탈론이 워낙 잘했기 때문에 조금 아쉬웠지만요. 오늘은 또 경기력을 이렇게 힘껏 끌어올리고 처지지 않으면서 승기를 이끌어갈 수 있을 거라고 다짐을 해줬습니다. So you have seen DFM's play style, right, before the match also. So what can you say about that? 또 DFM의 경기도 봤을 텐데 어떤 말을 할 수 있을지 물어보겠습니다.
Yeah, so DFM looked a lot better as opposed to last year. Their play is looking really solid, and I think that they will be a tough opponent for today.
오케이. DFM이 작년보다 더 강해졌고 조금 더 탄탄해졌다고 볼 수 있기 때문에 조금 어려운 경기가 될 수도 있을 것 같지만 최선을 다해보겠다고 답변을 받았습니다. And the last questions for both coaches. Any final words to each other? 마지막 한마디 부탁드립니다.
네, 저희가 아직 좀 연습을 시작한 지, 이 멤버로 연습을 시작한 지 오래되지는 않아서 아직은 팀 합이 완벽하진 않은데 그래도 좀 많이 올라오고 있는 상태여가지고 그래도 오늘은 좀 좋은 경기로 네, 팬분들께 보답할 수 있도록 열심히 하겠습니다.
Since we are newly formed, we can't say that we are perfect with teamwork, but we will do our best and show our fans great work. And also for you?
Yep, so for us, I think it's just both teams are looking to be on the come up. So for us, we're gonna try our best to pull out the win for today.
Yeah. 두 팀 다 모두 잘하기 때문에 오늘 저희가 이기기 위해서는 최선을 다해서 끝까지 하는 게 승리로 이끌 것이라는 다짐을 해줬습니다. So thank you coaches for the interview. And we saw both teams are heavily prepped and ready to go. So let's go back to your desk and enjoy the show. Bye bye.
Tell the mood from that coach's interview, right? This match is so important to them. I just want to contrast, like, for example, Warburg's first interview compared to this. He knows what happened and he knows what's on the line here.
Yeah, I mean, it's a very serious tone. I mean, you don't want to come into the opening tournament and then just be eliminated, not even having potentially a map win behind you. When you have this entire fan base, I mean, this is the sole representation, really, for the Philippines on this roster. There's so much pressure riding on this squad. So to be able to just get eliminated after having a relatively good season in Vct Pacific last year, that would just be absolutely brutal.
Yeah, I mean, this was that team that continued to really surprise us on the analyst desk and on the casting desk last year, right? Where we kept rating some of these other known Titans a bit higher, and they continued to punch right above their weight, even taking down DRX in some of those matches. And that surprised a lot of people, the prep that they had. But again, that's another part that we mentioned coming into kickoff is now you don't have that much prep. All these are new rosters, not much tape to go off of. How does Team Secret bring up the fundamentals that they have to bring up the floor and then work on the ceiling throughout the year?
And not only that, but like one of the other things that we saw was that when Team Secret had to prep for multiple teams during a week, that's where they really struggled.
Of course, the predictions have to be this way. They have to be this way.
Listen,
come on, guys.
I give respect because here's the thing. Again, there's this big question of, was that a day one thing?
Yeah.
There is a possibility. Obviously, we don't want to count into it too much. That's not something we can analyze and break down. But that's always a possibility just because it was so different than what we saw last year. Like, the trades just weren't there.
Yeah.
The boomer on the map just was not there. The utility wasn't there either. So if that's the case, then this could be a very competitive game.
Exactly. And I have to, raise, I guess, a big question mark, especially since, the only new addition to the roster was basically NDG. And they did mention that they wanted that hard sentinel role coming in. However, NDG is actually a controller. So he might be forced into a role that he's not exactly 100% comfortable in just yet. His first matches on Sentinel were actually with Team Secret already.
I feel like I just saw something about similar to this yesterday.
Don't go there. Don't go there. I know
Who
what's
was
going
it?
through your
That
head.
team that got eliminated. Yeah, forcing some roles. Anyway,
nobody's ever done that.
That's not conducive to just a good environment and bringing out success in
Unless
somebody.
you're DRX.
Yeah, unless you're DRX.
You put all your jets on different
I suppose
roles.
so. But look, for me, there was almost nothing to glean from Secret's match.
Sure.
I have almost zero things that I could take away that look like a positive. So I have to go with DFM here because there is clear improvement from what we had seen from them before. There is synergy that is built into this team that was severely lacking from Secret versus Talon.
And that's the other thing. Obviously, we talk a lot about Secret and how they were disappointing just because, again, 4 members of that core remaining, so we had high expectations. However, this isn't just because they looked weak in their first match. DFM looked quite impressive. I mean, they were firing back in duels against DRX, even against the likes of Flashback, although obviously he was farming quite a few kills. So I think it's just a matter of, okay, the mechanics look better for this new roster of DFM and the teamwork, bringing over that core from Crazy Raccoon. Okay, the chemistry seems to be there. Anthem's calling seems to be working well amongst that team. It's an exciting prospect.
I'm going to put a little bit of the copium on there. These rosters have actually met before. If you remember Champions 2021, the core of the Crazy Raccoon squad is actually here.
Gosh.
There might be a little bit of information there, but we're going to find out as we step into the game. It's going to be Team Secret versus Detonation Focus Me. Let's get into the game.
デトネーションフォーカスミー所属のアンセムです。このチームと比べて僕たち2週間で準備しててチームのスタイルを確立するには短かったなっていうのを感じます。新しく入ってきたメンバーはみんないい選手です。メデューサは競技経験も長くて死ぬことを恐れない、倒されることを恐れずに、積極的に1対1仕掛けたりするところですかね。うちのチームはエイムが強いと思うんで TS に比べたら、その辺で差をつけて戦いたいなと思います。戦ってみたら手も足も出ないと思います。このチームはポテンシャルがあってみんな全力を尽くしているので次の試合も応援よろしくお願いします。
Hi guys, my name is Jesse Bash. I'm from Team Secret. I feel like this is our unlucky day. We did so many mistakes. The communications are not that active compared to what we are doing on scrims. Some of the players are pretty pressured. Again, especially our new guy. It's unfortunate what happened last game, but next game against DFM, we're gonna win. I see DFM as a new team, so they will be more unpredictable. For now, I think I will just gonna focus on what my team needs to do, and the preparations versus DFM will happen after I watch their game against DRX. As the experienced player in the team, I will make sure to guide and share the experience to NDG so he can play well, and I will make sure I will bring him to the Masters.
Introducing today's teams. First, give it up for Detonation Focus Me! their opponents. Make some noise for Team Secret!
So as both teams are here, we'll begin the map veto of today's first match. We'll be conducting a coin toss.
Big promises on both sides, big fan bases, and a big match. I wonder what's going to happen here. TS versus DFM. One of them has to go.
That they do. It is unfortunate, but whoever wants this the most, whoever can have some improvements off of those opening series, that is likely who's just going to be able to take this one. As we can see, DFM, though, going to be first to ban. Curious to see where they want to go. And it's going to be Icebox, so
that's fair.
The previous, strong map from the side of Team Secret makes sense to take that one away.
Yeah, it just seems that DFM, I mean, we saw it in that interview as well. They only had like 2 weeks or so to really prepare with the core 5. So not wanting to deal with some of those changes. And I mean, they looked okay on Lotus. They looked pretty decent on Lotus. So they're going to pick that, as that was also a ban from last time from Team Secret in their match against Talon.
Yeah, I mean, we saw them pick up the majority of the, it was 8 rounds on both maps they played versus DRX, but I think they overall looked a bit stronger on Lotus when it came down to it. But Secret is again electing to go to Breeze. This didn't pay off for them so well versus Talon, but they're going for it once more. And again, that pressure on the operator to find value here on these long sightline map is there.
Now, here's the thing, though, right? That's the game where, I mean, Governor was just farming them in long range. DFM was playing the single Euro composition against DRX, so perhaps saying that was a Governor thing, not a Team Secret thing. We still feel confident what we can do by bringing out this Breeze.
I mean, I feel like it's just because Haven's out of the rotation and TS has to, diversify their map pool, and I don't know. Right now, though, I feel like Ascent, okay, potentially if this goes to a map 3, this could go Team Secret's way. Tita Mika's on desk, everybody, for some copium, all right?
Ascent is, again, another one of those maps where we would see Dubstep be swapped over onto that Jet, and we would have Jeremy taking up the role of the Killjoy. So this is one of those ones where Jeremy doesn't have that many reps actually playing the Jet, getting that operator into his hands, so it'll be a different look here for Secret. It'll be our first time seeing him coming onto that map in this season. I think, honestly, if they can make it to map 3, then clearly the improvements are already there, though.
Yeah, sure, obviously. It's a big step forward, but that Ascent, like you mentioned, it looked so shaky against Talon. I mean, putting things aside about the performance of Talon, now Team Secret going to be, bringing out it's just going to be mirrors. I mean, very standard composition, right? If you're going to stick with the Sky still, you have the Omen to help pressure that Rubble fight, things like that.
Again, eyes are on NDG. He's the newest member here on Team Secret, and he has to hold that backline so that Jeremy can go forward. Eyes are also on Jeremy because he has to be able to set that pace for Team Secret.
Yeah, I mean, we see ops all the time on this map, even if there's not a chamber in the mix, especially on the defending side. The Rays oftentimes will take it up. So Jeremy, will he do that, or is he going to try to stick to aggressive handling the entire time.
Yeah, and not bringing out the Sova. They used to try to force the Sova on this map as well for Team Secret. So Jesse Vash saying that I need to be more flexible as an IGL, and that's going to put Envy away from the Flash. She's now going to be on that Viper.
That's right. Very curious choices here for the side of Team Secret. We're going to see if it's going to pay off against DFM, a team that has been steadily improving throughout Vct Pacific Kickoff. Let us kick off this first match, Team Secret and DFM. Who is going home? Let's find out as we toss it on over to our casters. It's Asarai and Paper Thin.
It's like gap there for like a second. I think Mika forgot who we were. But thank you so much, Desk, for that very informative discussion on this elimination match again between Team Secret and Detonation Focus Me.
Yeah, a really exciting match in a lot of ways. Of course, it's unfortunate we're already to this point in the event, but it is what it is. I think, especially for DFM, showing a lot of signs of improvement with kind of this crazy Raccoon roster coming in to play for them. Team Secret, I think, underwhelming. I think we kind of expected Team Secret to more or less pick up right where they left off last year and sort of just kind of be maybe hopefully a little bit better, but it seems like as of a couple days ago, it hadn't quite come together.
Yeah, they picked up NDG to solidify that back end, but it seems like it was the front end that was really struggling with Jeremy there. Anyways, here we are, map number 1. Lotus is in our sights. It's going to be, as the Desk has mentioned, the mirror matchup.
Yeah, I'm really curious to see if maybe we can see a little bit of an improved performance from like Anthem and Medusa today. They struggled just a little bit against DRX. Really have my eyes onto them. May, definitely a strong player, definitely can hold his own against some of the best in Pacific. Now we need to see slightly improved performances from the rest of them. And right now, Team Secret kind of spreading the map a little bit here, maybe feigning a little bit of pressure towards A, but the spike is over on the C side with a heavy stack from DFM.
Yeah, it does give them a lot of options, doesn't it? As you can see already, DFM throwing out the paint shells on Rubble just to dissuade the players of Team Secret, but DFM, it's a two-pronged attack coming in from Rubble, coming in from Mound. They really want to push Team Secret away from any form of forward engagement in this pistol. Team Secret do wait a little bit, and now they start maneuvering their way back here onto Mound as that door closes up.
Yeah, DFM didn't see any of that leading utility. No Sky, no Raze utility to kind of indicate an attack, so they were able to shift back over in this direction quickly.
Charging right in. That smoke does slow them down a little bit. Jeremy charges right in. That's going to be the start here for Team Secret. Doors open. The pinch is coming through. Look at the flying from the mid as well. That's going to be Envy getting Anthem, and that's 2 down for DFM and a secured site on C question mark? No, Spike is going to be brought somewhere else.
Yeah, they want to move it over to B. Maybe just a little bit more pressure they're expecting. Oh, Medusa.
Oh, he got one. Jesse Bash has got to be a bit careful or else he might be decapitated as he tries to plant that spike. So goes for the safer route. Gets the kill first. May and Neth to remain. Neth coming in all the way from Waterfall as May will be forced to go up on B here. 2-prongs attack for DFM, but at least Team Secret looking to have a lot more crossfire angles to play on this post. May gets a little bit close. He already knows that Envy right in front of him. Envy didn't get a chance to do anything that last game. This time he won't on this round. And it's a 2 versus 2. Jesse Bash knows that the spike is getting diffused, but it's all a ruse. Jeremy getting tapped here, and he will be able to deal with May, securing the round for Team Secret.
Yeah, big round win here for Team Secret. Jeremy holding nicely at the end. I liked how DFM read the beginning part of that round, Asarai, but they kind of peeled off. It's like they had the right read, but they decided to kind of play for retake, and I think maybe if they take a little more contact here at the point, but they got beat. Sesu there quickly, and Anthem, and they didn't really have any backup for those 2 players. They had backed way to the back of C site, and that forced them to go over the plant. Still had a really nice shot. Again, May, nice jiggle peeking there to give himself a really good opportunity to get that first kill against Envy. And after that, Jeremy just really solid on the post plant.
Rest of DFM here, massive stack again on A. I mean, even on your worst buy, right? Rubble is such a great position to do if you have the numbers to just enforce it. Team Secret seems to realize that they don't really have to overextend. They have the whole round to not really, overcommit to things, so they can wait.
And this is Jesse Vash, right? He's willing to take his time. He's willing to get his information and make sure that they do not commit any mistakes. And, that first day has to be in your head here as the IGL to make sure that today is a much, much better showing. So the pressure is going to be on for sure. But this plays to Team Secret's style. I mean, they're a methodical team oftentimes. They're not a team who was blowing the doors off of you in Pacific last year. So like what I'm seeing, back to kind of the traditional fundamentals here for Team Secret.
Medusa was the first one supposedly on the contact against Team Secret here, but this time it's going to be Anthem. He stuck himself in the corner. You can hear all that pitter-patter on the footsteps, and Borkum just comes in with the jump, with the kill. Close again. One will be May, but Borkum, you know what? He's not going to be the duelist, but this time he's going to be the entry fragger for Team Secret as they claim Seaside once again, leaving Medusa left to, well, just kind of scour for an exit frag if he can.
Yeah, snappy kill there for Jeremy as well. So already Team Secret looking a lot more refreshed, looking a little more dialed in. Medusa, a lot to do here with just the classic in hand.
Now they spotted Medusa already. That's it. Easy as can be. 2 quick rounds for Team Secret here. And DFM, I mean, it's just the 2 rounds, so it's a given.
But the real concern here is that it was a flawless, right? So you're not taking any of those Bulldogs away, or even, you know, if you're really fortunate, you can take that Vandal away. So all the rifles carry over. But again, that's something that we hinted at the beginning of the round here, Asra, is that they were playing cautious, right? They were making sure they weren't making mistakes, and that's what you need to see out of Team Secret. That's kind of something that really should be a strength of the team, certainly, is the ability for Jesse Vash, as that veteran, as that long-time esports player, to make the correct calls.
Oh, that might have been the correct call as Neth just gets himself a nice little lineup with that snake by trapping Jeremy into a very unwinnable situation. That's going to be the 4 versus 5 quickly here as Team Secret, they still haven't forgone the A site. There's the setup already. May somewhere here on stairs. The TP right in from Borkum as he goes in straight on Tree, maybe to actually get the catch here onto Neth, who's somehow surviving. May's gotten the 2 kills already, and now Team Secret are in a very difficult situation. They have to push forward because there's the 2 flanks coming in from the rest of the 2 players of DFM. They do have some options. Maybe they can break that link. Maybe they can go on B, but still the pressure is on, and DFM have closed them in.
Oh boy. NDG solo on health. This is very, very challenging. And like you mentioned, the flank's already posting up in case they just try to exit. Close. I know.
But he clears it out. One more on the right. And there's an opening. Team Secret have done it. They've equalized the numbers. They're going to be able to secure this A site, which is perfect. If NDG can plant this safely, get enough time, he can set up those post-plant nano swarms when he's this low. In any case, this is still very stressful for Team Secret because they don't have any information if Anthem's going to come in. Never mind, the turret spots him out. But at least now, they know where supposedly the players of DFM will be coming from. Play is to separate themselves. So NDG is going to be for the pinch. The healthier player of TS will be holding on Tree. Flush coming in from Anthem here. Is Anthony quick enough to react? He is! And Medusa not going to know about this. One in the front, one in the back. And Team Secret, very, very good clutch in that 4 versus 2.
And this is now a little bit concerning for DFM. They read the beginning of this round very, very well. Read the Borkum TP perfectly. May then able to swing and find another there at the crunch towards A. But at Baby Door here, things get slowed up. And then I thought DFM had a great read. I thought they were just going to hold on A. The other players were going to swing in. But I think they paused because they were worried that Team Secret was going to rotate like we saw in the previous round, right? Where they got pressure and then they backed off. And so they held angles, and instead that gave Team Secret an opening to find that double kill and claim the site.
Exactly that. Medusa now trying to find these pixel angles to get any kills with that Sheriff. It was only just a dream for him to happen, especially now that Team Secret feels like they're a lot more honed in. TS, though, making sure every single corner is cleared up. Couple of pop shots on that box as well. And now they've got some traction to do something on that C site.
Yeah, I mean, there's not much there that they have to deal with anymore. And the smokes are coming out. So, you know, for DFM, it's going to have to be a full-on retake. Only May with a Bulldog, couple Sheriffs, so it's going to be a bit tricky. Plenty of utility to work with potentially, so maybe they can get something done. We see some nice little combo plays with utility. Neth setting himself up with that snake bite earlier, so maybe DFM's got something in store for us here.
I mean, if May can get a kill, he's got to have a showstopper, so that's going to count for something, right? So, possibility of that. This turret does not show anything on the flank. And May's already gotten 2 off-cam kills, man. That's going to be huge for him. Is he going to rip it on out as 2 players of DFM now coming in from the flank? NDG not even looking at it. Now he decides to react, which he does. Gets the kill first. Is aware that Anthem could be there, which he is. And they've already dealt with May. It's only him and Neth to remain 2 versus 2. Anthem's getting chased down. NDG doesn't want to overreach as he does have to deal with his teammate on the side alone. But Jeremy's good. He's fine. And Anthem, again, exit frags is a possibility here. And I just love how this is just turned into a game of hide and seek, cat and mouse.
Yeah, I mean, we've seen that a couple times already from Anthem where he's had to try to post up in a corner with a classic and try to get some damage done. But, I mean, again, this is slightly concerning for DFM, not like the previous round in that they maybe kind of got a little too overcautious here, but it's May doing so much damage, and then Jesse's able to stop the showstopper. Looks like some utility got into May's face as well. Maybe a paranoia there from Sesu, but
yeah,
it really needs to be the other players, like I mentioned at the beginning, that are picking it up behind May. We know May is a strong player, but now Sesu, Anthem in particular, Medusa as well, got to get it going here to turn things around.
May's, well, he wants to do a lot of impact by himself as he pushes up very aggressively with the operator. TS feeling that there was something different, because I think this is the first time we're also seeing the one-way smoke coming in from Sesu here on C Mound.
Yeah, you're exactly correct. So now they're trying to figure out what exactly this is, and Jesse's ready for it.
Yeah, you slow peek it, it gets punished. That's the operator down, that's May down. But Sesu actually picks it up and gets the trade very quickly.
There you go. I mean, that's nice. Able to take her right back, but then Borkum says, nah, I've had enough. Oh, jeez, Team Secret. It's looking so good, dude.
Anthem. Yeah, I mean, it looks like DFM wants to keep going for these trades, but it's immediately getting like just swatted away by Team Secret, as you mentioned.
It's just a wildly different Team Secret so far today. I mean, they look crisper, they look sharper. Everything seems to be a little bit better in terms of them reading the map, anticipating their opponents' kind of ideas and plays. So clearly,
yeah,
in a short amount of time, Team Secret has done a really good job addressing some of the issues that we saw in their first match.
And not gonna lie, I was kind of skeptical with how, Warbird said that, they were just making sure that they're not gonna overheat today and stuff, and it seems like it is looking like that. They're not overreaching, they're not overextending. Very controlled Team Secret. They got the money as to why they're just probably going for these exit frags, but if Neth can hold on and get a couple of kills, I mean, why not?
Any damage he can do here is nice. I mean, he'd love to keep the gun, and he's going to have to fight for it for sure. A few seconds left on that.
There's the nade.
Yeah. The nade and Borkum ready for the angle. Nicely done. Yeah, I mean, I like what you're saying there, because Warbirds is 100% correct, right? He's just like, this is what we got to do today. Don't overheat. And, it's kind of funny because from my perspective, watching the games at home, I was like, I didn't really necessarily think that overheating was the problem per se. Like, maybe they were just too aggressive. Like, overheating, right, is when you get a couple kills and then you're trying to push for extra. I think they were I think they were just maybe, but a lot of people use overheating as like a
same thing.
Yeah. It's like you're just being too aggressive. Yeah.
We'll give it
I think that's what he means. But it was, I think today we're seeing what is the MO of Team Secret, right? Like, where they're disciplined, they're making good reads, they're anticipating their opponents, and that's how they're going to get a lot of these round victories.
Absolutely. If they can make this happen, and I'm just saying this because we're now in timeout, maybe the two Filipinos hit the desk that predicted Team Secret. Very hard copium. Very hard copium.
In my defense, I was riding the DFM bandwagon well before we saw any of the matches. I am on record picking DFM to come out of this group with DRX before any games were even played. So I will, I decided to stay with that. But certainly I'm not going to be surprised at all if Team Secret wins today.
Of course, we have had like 3 best of 3s happen yesterday, so that's a possibility that could happen today as well. You never know. All of these teams have been quite upgraded. Anyways, weapons for DFM going to be looking a tad bit on the low end as Team Secret. They've got everything to really work with this one, Paper.
Yeah, and look, dude, they can hang on to these ults for another round, and it helps when Jeremy's getting opening picks with that op that I'm pretty sure he picked up off of DFM. So things are really, really even more challenging now for DFM, because you can't really afford to get super aggressive unless you're lucky enough to isolate the operator player, but Team Secret's not giving you that opportunity. So let's see if they try to get a little bit more aggressive on the point of contact, maybe at some of these choke points, in and out of smokes, try to play up close and personal and snag a couple guns away from Team Secret. But, I mean, the issue is that Team Secret's economy is already still so strong. So the damage you do is kind of not that important.
You do like about you do mention about all of this contact that could work in the favor of DFM if Team Secret decide to go for that C. Look at the 4-stack that has come out here from the Japanese team. They have left Envy to just hold on by himself. This is the massive push out, and Envy converts with a 3K. This man did not get any chances to do any kind of highlights yesterday, but this time is his time. Neth does get a quick little pick there, but NDG, as the door opens, immediately shuts the opportunity here for DFM.
Yeah, and I don't mind what DFM does in that round. Right? It's an eco. You might as well go for something like that. See if you can trick Team Secret. But again, Team Secret kind of wise to it. Decides to pull off to the other side. Expecting the flash there is Envy. In a good spot to play anti-flash. You can just turn a quick little head to the right and he's good to go. So you can see he gets the triple kill. And now they've got a lot of ults. And this is what's scary for Detonation Focus Meet. For this timeout, how are they going to play? Are they going to anticipate, you know, some early aggression here? We haven't seen any really explosive early play. So Neth going again for that early snake bite, trying to see if he can catch a player of Team Secret with a little bit of damage. Earlier it was Jeremy who had popped out a bit. This time around, not going to be the case. And Mate posting up with his sniper.
Ooh. Yeah, that could be something. NDG very much aware that these longer corridors are dangerous territories. There's a world where, you know, he just pops a shot and maybe gets a pick through the smoke here. Jeremy, is it going to be the dry peak? It's, oh, this is going to be reaction versus reaction, and May's just the better of the two.
I mean, you can see Jeremy knew it, right? Yeah. Like, it was just, you know, you have the defender's advantage on that angle, and May so fast, so quick. Still a Viper's Pit in the back pocket for DFM. Maybe they can get that to kind of bottleneck Team Secret in here. They got to win a round. So it's got to kind of be one of those rounds where you throw everything in the kitchen sink at it. You know, maybe if there ends up being a plant coming down, you can use that Viper's Pit to gain some space. Borkum wins that.
That's going to be something to open things up, right? It possibly could allow them to rotate to B. They still have Jesse Vash coming in with the spike all the way through B main. Here comes the pitch coming in. Anthem's been pushed back. Killjoy lockdown activated here. Separates a good chunk of this Lotus map, and that'll at least secure the plant here for Team Secret for the moment, while DFM take their breath and place themselves on this post plant.
And that's your Viper's Pit gone, and now Team Secret has one of their own, so maybe if you can get Seekers for Anthem or something like that, you can have some ability to clear this pit, but this is really difficult now for DFM.
Absolutely, especially with more of their utilities for clearing and scanning done already. Boombot not here, as well as everything. Anyways, there's going to be the contact here for Borkum. Down already. Sesu already feeling like there could be some flank coming in from mid, but Team Secret, they just decide to play inside the pit, and that's perfectly good for them because they can refrag very quickly and just exit out of B main, which Jesse Vash is already making that exit route very safe for them.
Yep, both teams opting to take the safe end of things and save their guns for DFM, and 7-0 now for DFM on their map pick. This is DFM's pick. And it's just, it looks like a different team than what we saw against DRX. They don't look to seem to have that same confidence, that same explosiveness. You know, a few plays here and there from May and Neth, but Sesu, Medusa, and Anthem 0-7 is shocking. I mean, he's generally a pretty consistent player. He can put up some huge rounds. He can have those rounds that leave your jaw on the floor, but so far today, that has not been the case. This steady, safe, secure Team Secret getting the job done.
I like the words that you've placed there. It perfectly describes how much better they have got. That smoke separates a bit of that visual contact confirmation here for Jeremy for a shot on that operator of his. With the utility that he has, he can still turn into an entry fragger if they want. Double satchel into a showstopper. Possibilities, possibilities.
I'd love to see it. You know, you can drop that op and go for it. I mean, I definitely think that's something that could work a treat for them. I'm just waiting for, at some point here, for Team Secret to dial up the pace. Once they feel comfortable enough, maybe in the next round, when they basically guaranteed themselves buys for the rest of the half no matter what, if they can win this one, then they can start going for aggressive.
Here he goes. Goes in for a target. Oh, wait, how did he survive? Anthem is very down to low. Again, Ultimate doesn't get any kills, but it does secure the site once again. Though DFM would be happy for this retake. Jeremy holding a closer angle, might have to back away as he whiffed the shot on the up. Have Envy right beside him. The bait and switch. Team Secret would love to get fought right here and now as they have to set up the paranoia. It's just too strong. Jeremy's holding alongside Envy. There's the first shot, has to reposition. Borkum doing a very good job as he tries to get the pick here and now. Settles 3 versus 2. Great hold. NDG gets the last kill, and Team Secret still unbeatable in these rounds here on Lotus.
Yeah, the mental preparation really good for Team Secret, especially once they get control of the site. Yeah, they don't get the kill with the showstopper, but they're able to clear a lot of space, using a paranoia to follow up to give Jeremy even more space to control that angle with that op. That's a really nice angle to hold. Yeah, he misses the shot, but then they anticipate that flash. Jeremy just moves back behind the corner, waits for it. Envy, as we've seen, pretty good at turning those flashes. And then when DFM turns the corner, Team Secret is just waiting with open arms and starts collecting kills.
Like DFM are just, playing into TS's setup, and they can't really do anything about it. Never mind. This is the setup the DFM set for themselves, and now TS are playing and losing.
I like this. I mean, this is what somebody needed to do on DFM, is get aggressive and set May up for a couple kills there. So you get Sesu with him, give him the paranoia, give him that push around the corner, and they come away with 3 big ones. Much needed here for DFM.
This leaves only Vash and Envy to remain. They're trying to isolate a lot more angles here. They're just trying to compress themselves. Get a celebratory old orb charge. There's going to be one. Dog does get another. Jesse Vash is just going to rush into things as he wants to isolate the fight with the other one concussed, but it doesn't matter. Medusa with the Guardian.
There we go. There you go, DFM. Show him a different look. Give him a little spice. Now let's see if TS, if there's their opportunity to try to answer back with something a little bit aggressive of their own. See, turret cleared and he's just ready. So clean as May. Absolutely incredible. Medusa on the follow-up here with the Guardian. Crisp. That's what they need. They need to start getting fired up. They need to get into this game. They're going to turn it around. They've got plenty of ults. This has to be it. They have to get around if they're going to invest these ults, which they should. So Showstopper.
Cover going out.
Potentially available, but they're going to back off and maybe wait this out. Maybe see if they can bait in FM a little bit.
Speaking of baiting them in, I mean, they're just prepared for this. They were just playing around the corner here. Team Secret going a little bit too aggressive. And they're just going to get wiped. That was less than 5 seconds, and DFM have claimed themselves another round.
It was just complete bait. I think DFM expecting maybe an aggressive A push, and that's a great read here from Anthem and company. And then just setting May up for success. Look, if nothing else is going to work, get your star duelist fired up. Give him the opportunity to put not only his gunplay, but his ultimates into use there, and that's what they do. Yeah, the showstopper doesn't connect, but it doesn't matter. The rest of the round goes incredibly well. The flash around the corner there, nades in the back to clear space, make sure that all the players are covering the angles that are going to be forced out by the mollies. So really nicely done by DFM.
Yeah. This one had died as well. Just perfect timing on that wall up from Neth. Jeremy wasn't even expecting that, and May just used it against him very effectively.
Now they're going to try to push through mid again here. They've got the dog out, and Jesse Vash is going to see it, and so that's going to send them back. Something about that DFM didn't like. Didn't get any contact close to mid, so they didn't want to push too far. Kind of get stuck in a crossfire potentially, but Envy watching Baby Door.
Is that what you call it? Baby Door?
Yeah. I don't know why.
I always call it Murder Hole.
Yeah, that's good too. I like yours better.
It sounds more...
I don't know why people call it that.
Anyways, well, there you go. Bit of murder here and there. NEG for Medusa. And this is just straight for days. The charge from Jeremy as he comes in swinging with the shorty. You gotta love to see it. Dust settles. Neth is alone. He did use his pit on C to control it, but then Team Secret had no intention of going elsewhere other than A.
Planted.
Man, it's just good recognition here by Team Secret that after that early contact through mid, the likely point to come through there is through that link. So they just hold it down and they just wait, man. It's just great patience. Again, patience is winning the day here for Team Secret.
True. You think a team like DFM wouldn't be, impatient. Anyways, back to the action. Paranoia does not hit Neth, so he could isolate a fight here against Jeremy. Wasting a lot of bullets here, and Jeremy will get immediately fragged out. He hasn't had the time to take a breather here, so he's down just looking for angles. Low on ammunition, low on opportunity. And this just has to be Neth backing away. They open the door. He's going to be able to get back into Link. An explosion is going to take Borkum's life, but give Secret that round.
Yeah, it doesn't matter, though.
Last round in the half.
Actually, the economy was starting to dwindle a little bit there for Team Secret, but they can scrape together. Enough of a buy. Yep, no problems. Full armor, full rifles. Lockdown as well for NDG. Lockdown for Medusa. So I haven't seen a lockdown since earlier on when NDG farmed one up pretty quick, because he is now 14-4.
Yeah.
He is having a hell of a map here.
Compared to, I was just about to point out as well, just the connection.
Yep.
I was just about to point out again that he was very much struggling from the previous time that they played.
Oh yeah,
so.
he was having a rough go of it. But
Oh,
that's a lot of players, right? When they get to a new stage for the first time, when they've never played at this kind of level before.
Yeah.
Where there's so much new things to have to adapt to.
Yeah.
Whether not just the players, but out of game as well. And, you saw it was something last year. His first game was kind of rough, right? But after that, he was great.
I just remember him getting that insane jet play on Pearl. Anyways, Team Secret, big paranoia play here. Anthem left on an island. He could actually get pop shot through the smoke, but he does have some teammates on link that could help him out if he does get spotted. The push through could be a bit fatal, but no, pop shot through the smoke is going to be enough. They're tracing the bullets. DFM looking for some punishes. But Team Secret able to squeeze in through tree, activate that lockdown, and force once again the possible retake here for DFM. They don't know that anyone is here on the site, so just making sure that every corner is cleared and checked.
And now you have to have an exit plan for the counter lockdown from Medusa. They're already getting ready for it. You can see falling back towards door, getting in towards A main, getting ready to play for a little bit more of a retake. Borkum playing up close and personal as he has potentially an escape, and he's just going to get a kill.
He doesn't need to be the escape. He is the true anchor of the site. They've already gotten out. That door is going to open up very quickly here. May's going to start defusing it to threaten against Team Secret. And Team Secret, they're just rushing right in. May is... Oh, no, the gun knife! Not like this, May. Not like this. It was half by May. NDG playing against Sesu. He hears it. He gets it. And NDG might have overdone it. And Sesu clutches the round. Almost dropped, but still able to squeeze one more in.
That's almost a really feels bad man for May.
Yeah.
I mean, he does a lot of good things there. Starts that defuse early, chews through a little bit of that nano swarm that Team Secret had set before, because they knew the lockdown was coming and they wanted to delay through the opponent's lockdown as much as they could. May does a lot of right things there, except had the knife out when he went to start the plan.
Man, I mean, we were panicking. Imagine how he was feeling in that situation,
right?
When he was just looking at one of the TS players, just, what are you doing?
I've done it before, right? We've all been there. We're like, no, my knife's out. Oh.
I actually don't get well, we're still here on timeout. I actually don't know the kind of benefits of that. You diffusing on with a knife out, because when you get out of the diffuse, you equip the most recent weapon that you had out.
Right.
So
I think it was just a mental thing where he just was trying to get there quickly and didn't swap back to a gun because he thought maybe he could just stick it, or if he just went for it really fast.
Okay. I like us being here.
That's the best I can come up with on that, to be honest.
Yeah.
But sometimes everybody does it where they forget to hit a button, or think they hit it and they didn't.
True.
There's a whole bunch of ways that could go bad.
But you know what? DFM still get it.
Yeah,
Sesu
man.
clutches. You talking about Sesu. Man is
he picked it up.
picking up. Yeah.
Yeah, and that's good to see. Now we need Anthem to pick it up, and DFM could make a map of this. I mean, it's concerning, but who knows?
Truthfully.
And interesting setup here. On the side of DFM. Toxic Screen looking to set up for a C push. Maybe a pivot towards B potentially, but the alarm bot and the nano set up by Team Secret. They have quite a bit stacked towards A. Neth going to be the one to try to avoid a little bit of contact there, but he pings it out. Knows that there's a few players up in that area. So now the util exchange goes.
Oh, that is very risky here from Envy. Not even a trade will happen here. Yes, there will be some damage on May, but Anthem has that regrowth, so he should be able to just heal back up. A bit too over-aggressive here from Team Secret, and DFM play with the punish.
Maybe he felt like he'd catch him off guard a little bit there, but just everybody from DFM was waiting around that corner. But now, yeah, it looks like they're going to shift sides of the map a little bit here. Take their time. Still have quite a bit of utility to work with. Still have a flash from Anthem. Still have the Paranoia. Blast pack for May. So a little bit of entry utility to make a splash.
Here it is. May's gone in with the satchel in. Alarm bot is giving up the information that it is going to be that B push. Jesse Vash could come out with the paranoia here. He comes around the corner, but Borkum doesn't check his 6. That's going to be him down. May does find Sesu, so no plans just yet for DFM. They drop the spike, has to pick it up once more, and Team Secret can re-aggress the situation. Now looking into things, there will be 2 coming in from Link. May finds the 1, so he has that high ground advantage. But because of the separation right now, it seems like Team Secret are actually turning this back around, but they're super low. What's going to happen here is it could be another May clutch. Not going to happen as Jeremy finds 4.
Yeah, I mean, in a really rough position there was Neth trying to hold that angle. And May gets his kill, but he just can't get back in time to bail Neth out from those 2 players coming back in towards the site. So had that happen a little bit faster, maybe. But Jesse, nice little in and out through the smokes. Jeremy here, little lob nade, but just standing up still was May. Things starting to look desperate for DFM. I mean, I would think maybe, they are investing in Sheriffs. But I was wondering if they go a little bit deeper into the pocketbook here.
I was gonna think like maybe Team Secret, take a page out of the book for Paper Rex and start getting outlaws.
I think that would be great here.
Oh yeah, I always saw how strong the outlaw really can be,
especially if your opponent like force buys into this round.
Yikes! That was almost a punish there from May. Haphazardly picking up the orb, actually not getting the orb. Still though, they were able to get on top of that situation. No follow-up from DFM here. They take a slower, methodical approach, and I say that, and then Neth just, gets taken down. As well as Medusa. All right, I'm just going to keep doing play-by-play till someone from DFM slows the pace down and lets us get a bit of more conversation in, but it seems like this round is about to end. Sesu doesn't have any coverage to plant the spike safely, so he just has to look for a pick here and there. But Team Secret, yeah, they got a rough idea of where he was. So that's going to be that. Team Secret 11.
Yeah, they're just kind of wandering all over the map here. Everybody's just sort of on their own for the most part. There wasn't a lot of cover for DFM. Just trying to see if they could isolate some of those, sheriff fights and get a big win. May's got an opportunity there up on top of the wall, but can't quite get the aim down. The rest of it, pretty easy for Team Secret. Just holding their angles and waiting with open arms.
I'm not super confident here for DFM. They have their gun round, but every single player at DFM is on a half shield. Not really what you kind of want to do when there's so much contact play in hand.
Right. Well, because they bought all those sheriffs, right? So they don't have that extra money.
Exactly.
This is why I kind of wanted to either see them just go all or not. Either fully invest in that
force buy.
Right, exactly. Yeah. Or just play for this round. Instead, they kind of went with a bit of a half measure. Obviously the half armors are still fine, but you're absolutely right. Like it is a bit concerning.
Yeah. When there's a lot of these again prolonged engagements, you kind of don't want to have lesser of something that can absorb that damage. Anyways, seems like DFM already setting up for this A play. Medusa somehow finds Jeremy through the thick of things, and this actually turns into a pretty doable situation right now for DFM. And he's going to be holding the back of the site. He's alone. He's already been used up all of his nano swarms. Borgo's going to be in the corner right now. Tries to make an aggressive TP play, but it actually blows up in his face. Vct Bash now as well here. Could flash himself out. Name thrown actually in the wrong direction. A mishap here from May could cost them their lives, and they're trapped here for just a split second. They do have Medusa coming in for the B push, so they want to make this into a split. Takes a bit of a breath, pushes right in. There's the fight, and May takes it all the way up. And it's all down to NDG, 3 versus 1.
Spike planted.
NDG here finds nobody as he creeps up through the entryway, where again May is pretty much waiting. Blast back. Perfect bait for May, and that's going to be the 3K for him, and DFM answer back.
Yeah, okay. This got a little bit concerning, I'd say, other than if Borka maybe doesn't go so hyper-aggressive. I think the idea that was running through Team Secret's mind was that DFM was going to be a little bit more aggressive towards the A side after that flash connected onto NDG, but instead they pumped the brakes, and Borkum, I think, thought that he could get away with like a cheeky backstab. Instead, DFM was just kind of waiting there. And that opened enough space here that DFM was able to brute force their way in towards the B site with that superior firepower.
Absolutely. There you go. They got themselves through a tricky gun round. May has gotten himself that showstopper. Sesu preparing to actually use the paranoia there, but won't really commit into things. Will they pull the trigger as they do see Envy's utility here outside C?
Yeah, they had to have been worried about somebody being at that door or something. They were really keen, making sure they get that. I mean, there is the showstopper on both sides, and neither one, going for anything crazy early. But with Jeremy's position, if you can find a good opportunity here, you might be able to do some serious damage. One way comes up, and the counter, and the flash, but nobody from DFM is making a move off of this. That's all just to buy time to hold Team Secret in place for this rotate.
True. Look at how far Team Secret are playing on C, though. They do realize that whether it's C or A, they can just play far back on safer positions so they don't get traded in. And speaking of, not really dying, and Jesse Vash gets spotted out by Medusa once again, who's been getting a lot of these lurk kills. The NDG gets punished as he tries to get a little bit cheeky. That's not going to be too good for him. Envy going to do the same. Now finds one, sees Sesu on top C, and he's making some of a good case of just, again, punishing them for getting too close into the site. Jeremy's ripped out his showstopper. May's been exposed. They know where he is.
Ooh, and where is this coming from? It was May a couple of rounds ago. Now it was Jeremy as he unleashes the showstopper, hits nothing, gets punished. DFM, get another.
He's just unreal. He's got phenomenal reactions. His aim is so good. That's a huge bailout here for DFM because, frankly, Team Secret plays this round mostly pretty well. Other than the good lurk by Medusa as well. That's a huge pick for DFM. But May able to dodge the showstopper and is instantly 180 ready for Envy.
Smiles all abound.
But I actually really like the way Team Secret played that round. They kind of expected the showstopper on to see. It was just Envy hightailing it out of there. May again. Unreal.
He's heated up. He is awake, alive, alert, enthusiastic. Not what you want to do when you're up against May.
No. You never want to see that. He's crazy good. They're just trying to get all this util out and get in here, but they're not comfortable with this Marshall here, Asarai. They committed a lot of utility to that. Did DFM, but not much gain. Okay, they get the player trying to backstab him, but took a little bit of damage there, did not.
Jeremy's alone. Does have a nade though. Can use his opponent's smoke against him, and that he will be able to do. Finally shuts down May. It's still not clear cut for Team Secret here, but that's a step in the right direction at least.
But what concerns me here is DFM doesn't have anybody to follow up to trade that kill, right? Know that your opponent's on an eco.
30 seconds left.
Nobody's there to pick it up.
Ooh. Orcam had a chance there.
One enemy
not going to happen. Medusa. Now here's the rotation from Jesse Vash and just slowly stalking the captain here of Team Secret. Knows exactly where he is. Just a tad bit too forward for his liking, but it was only a matter of time before he can get that kill. DFM slowly creeping up these rounds back into their side.
This may I didn't even mean to do that, but I said this may be
it's gonna be May.
Yeah. Well, it's like you were talking about with something yesterday where you were trying to come up with different words. I'm like, I need to not use the word may in the context of if. Nice. I really think they need to make sure that whatever May is doing, there's cover and protection for him to make sure that he can continue to pop off here. And this is something that is great. Cover him with that Odin, set him up with these Seekers, get May to give you the ability to get some rounds back because you desperately, desperately need him, and he's the only one who's getting the majority of the frags.
I saw the dark cover from DFM, by the way. That's Borkum rushing into the back of the C site. I think DFM realizes too, so they take a breather at least for the moment.
Yeah, DFM is very cautious here. Both teams on their attacker side a little more methodical today. There isn't a lot of that explosiveness. We haven't seen too many rushes. It's really been them feeling each other out, trying to get a good idea. A little bit more spam there. Again, this is all trying to buy attention over towards the A tight, keeping players planted. Maybe seeing if Anthem can sneak up and get a cheeky kill there, but everybody else for DFM is just holding outside of here, I think, waiting potentially for this util to go down. Here we go.
As it goes down, there it is. There's going to be the contact. May's already coming in here, and EV hasn't gotten any value whatsoever, so he's just going to get null and void. NEG, though, does get the trade, but
30 seconds left.
I mean, again, you're talking about this DFM. As long as they can support May very quickly, it should go into the favor of DFM, which it absolutely does. Jesse Vash, first on the scene, tries to get a little bit closer, did spot just the outline there of Sesu. Unfortunately, could not convert. That's really going to hurt them. They really were looking for that quick, easy kill. And unfortunately, they're going to have to play to this Viper Pit, where an Odin spam is still coming in. So Team Secret might just have to go for the save. It's an expensive round. Don't make it any more expensive.
Yep, makes a ton of sense. No reason to get over aggressive. And it worked a treat, right? You kind of took your time. You played with the other side of the map, caused a little bit of distraction over on the other side, kept a few feet planted so it'd be harder for the rotations to come through. And then you set up May to do his thing. Like right away, yeah, he gets taken down, but he got a kill on the entry. Sesu right there to back him up. Now, May maybe getting a little bit over aggressive there, walking through his own teammate's snake bite to try to go for the boom bot, got caught. But the cover was there, right? That's what's important.
Yeah, and again, because of, I think just how much zone control I feel like May has, Secret have been just playing so far back into the site that even if, right, someone like Invi plays there, there's no one to assist him. He's just alone.
Exactly. So yeah, I mean, hopefully some of this stuff will be addressed in the timeouts. I mean, I'm curious to see what Team Secret is going to do if Warbirds is going to key in on some of this sort of fakery that's going through with DFM. They're doing a lot of stuff where they're sending attention A and then going back to C, right? And it is keeping, because Team Secret has been respecting it, keeping them on that A site instead of, making fast rotations and things like that. And that has started to give DFM an edge in a couple of these rounds. So who knows?
Fair enough.
I mean, comebacks happen on this map. Kilios talked about it all the time on day one.
Correct me if I'm wrong, it just feels like Team Secret haven't really pushed out on their defending side, whether it's to respect the, again, right?
The pistol round, when Envy went through the toxic screen on the mound.
That's just about it.
I think that's about it, yeah. No, you're absolutely right, 100%.
Yeah, so maybe a change of pace? I don't know, because these defensive postures from Team Secret really haven't paid any success for them whatsoever.
Well, and I'm seeing pings come out here from DFM. I think they're expecting maybe some aggression towards A. The Hawk leading the way with Borkum and Jeremy on the other side. It's a potential B push here for DFM as the Viper's Pit is on to C. And it's just a Killjoy utility there, but for whatever reason, DFM decides to divert their attention, maybe expecting what you were just talking about, that Team Secret is going to get really aggressive and go through towards A lobby here.
They have a flash. Jeremy could be in trouble here if he's out in the open like this. Spots out a little bit of that contact. Doesn't give away, I think, anything. The paranoia to get in May. He will be able to get one. Borkum playing inside the smoke. Hides himself into the corner. That's a trade on both of the raises. But this does not make it clear-cut for anyone just yet.
Cover going out.
One marking at Rubble here. That's going to be Vash. Borkum now coming into the corner. And look at this big three-man punch that is about to hit the face of Borkum. If he clears out this angle on Rubble, are you prepared?
You could use a snake bite to clear it here. Oh, he's going to back off.
This dog. Borkum is in such a bad spot, but he has to just try to deal, right? That's going to be the one. And Jesse Vash, what a shot. Immediately used the Seekers. Bit of that information.
30 seconds left.
No need to overheat, as it is not anything or any advantage taken garnered by Team Secret. Just the trades for the most part. 2 versus 2. The Seeker trapped at the back of their own spawn. Now it spots it, so he knows it's there. But look at Vash! He's coming around the corner.
So
They're not even knowing about this. And the wall, the smoke, the smartness, the Vash! The plays into map point.
I love it. I love it, Jesse. That's so good. That's that veteran presence you're looking for. Oh, I've got a huge smile on my face. That was great. That's just great. Just brilliant.
It was a brain blast moment. I mean, he went on tree and played inside their smoke, swung in the other way of the door. What more could you ask for? It's brilliant. From a hard read.
It's just brilliant. He knew he had him bamboozled. He knew it. Just kind of saying, I know what you're thinking, kids. I've been around the block a few times. I'm pretty sure he's our oldest player. in Pacific?
33?
33?
Yeah.
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 So what does that mean? Like there's like some 3 DFM players with the age of Jesse Bash or something? maybe two.
Two, maybe. Yeah, close to that, yeah. For sure. I mean, okay, so one thing I do want to highlight here for DFM is if they're just a little bit quicker in their decision making in that round, that snakebite came super late to displace Borkum. Eventually it landed, and then Borkum had to fight for it outside on the backside of rubble there. But it came a little bit too late, I think. I think if they do that right away and make Borkum uncomfortable, he can't get another, or makes it harder for him to get another kill there, I should say.
Yeah.
And then they can maybe have an easier time getting through that round. But they really kind of pumped the brakes after May died and really rethought what they were going to do.
Yeah.
And then that snakebite came after they were already pushed out, after they were already fighting.
Yeah, and at that point, Jesse Bass was already there to assist Borkum, and again, we saw what happened. Anyways, timeout is over. Medusa immediately spamming the angle here so that no one pushes up onto rubble. I hear myself, hey! Showstopper, but that rocket has been stopped. Was that a shotgun from Bash? Yes, it was. Aye.
He read it again. He knew exactly what they were doing. 100%.
Yeah.
He figured it out. This is why he's the IGL man. He's so smart.
And this is DFM, a chicken without a head. Not going to have too many options to work with as they Hail Mary a pass onto Seaside. It's still 4 versus 5. They have the lockdown, so they should be able to secure this. But without that firepower on May, that's 20 plus kills in this first game. They're really going to need something to work with, and that is to over push a little bit here. Get a little bit aggressive, get a lot more kills. Medusa's by himself, but he can't turn Bash into stone. It's Bash that slays the Titan.
Beautiful stuff here from Team Secret. Completely different team than we saw on their first match. Looking much improved, much more dialed in. Good fundamentals, which we expect from them, and then a little bit of flair at the end from Jesse.
There is nothing else I could ask for. Just seeing how, again, that map 1 has anything. Again, it's just map 1, but still such a big difference from what we saw in the previous here from Team Secret. A lot more composure, a lot more capability to read out their opponents. And wow, what a finish.
Yeah, and their aim looked a lot crispier today, so they look good.
Yeah, really anyways, we're just going to pass it on to the analysts to just dissect what happened in that first map.
Team indeed. I mean, Team Secret making this comeback, I guess, I suppose, right now, showing everybody that, no, first stage hitters, that was just it, we're back.
Yeah, I mean, a bit of a return to form. And at the beginning of this game just felt like TS space jammed the ever-loving hell out of DFM. They just completely swapped places and power levels at the beginning of this map. It was basically just May in that first half that was really getting anything done. But even then, that win streak we saw from Secret was just fantastic for them.
Yeah, I mean, they really kept the momentum up, right? And I think they got the read that they were, starting off on a better foot today in this map 1, right? They were hitting their shots a lot more consistently in that first half, and they just continued to push that tempo. And I would say perhaps almost in a risky way for a map like Lotus, right? We didn't see too much complex moving around the map from Team Secret for a lot of those early rounds. It was just push through, go for the fights, win the fights, go in, plant the spike. And it worked out because, again, they were firing. The trades were there. I think that's the biggest thing for me. The comms seemed to be there. NDG seemed to have his head screwed on tight today. He was looking at the right angles, the right places at the right time, and that's good news for Team Secret.
But actually, I didn't feel like it was a very, very clean map, on the side of both teams, right? I mean, obviously for the side of DFM, we did see May carry quite a lot. There were so many missed opportunities on the side of, all of the other players. For Team Secret, yes, they did take this map, but there were some times where you caught people sleeping a little bit. You did see the unchecked corners too.
Yeah, some unchecked corners coming through. Jeremy as well, sometimes overextending, putting himself way too far out with not enough support. I mean, Envy as well, that mound push that we saw from him in the second half, just getting himself caught and taken down very quickly. That kind of allowed for DFM to start getting the gears working in their favor a bit. So there's definitely things that tighten up, but widely, I mean, this is just a complete opposite Team Secret from what we saw in their opening series, and also, yes, a lesser opponent compared to what we witnessed from Talon. I mean, May is doing his best to try to put on that governor impersonation for sure, but the things that we were talking about, Jeremy being this strong entry player for this squad, getting op kills, but also NDG needing to have a stronger performance. He comes out here, drops 19 with 19 kills, 12 deaths. You compare that to, yes, this is the overall stats for their series versus Talon, where he went -21 on those 2 maps played. So this is already such a massive move in the right direction for him.
Yeah, and on the side of DFM, again, my eyes continue to go to Medusa as well. I mean, they rely on him to lurk so much, and he knows that that's his own playstyle. He's not just playing Sentinel, he's playing strictly a lurker role. And if you're going to do that, you have to consistently be winning out on those 1v1s whenever you're facing, or potential 1v2s as well. And obviously, you know, he put up a fair number of kills, but not enough to really turn the tables around when you had such a rough start.
I mean, it was May, Medusa, and NDG and Jeremy that we did have our eyes on, right? In the pre-show, we talked about it. I also do want to put some attention, though, on Envy. He made such an impact last year, and now we're seeing him on a controller, which, as you pointed out earlier, Will, isn't exactly a role that he, you know, we've seen him on quite a lot. It's been I think it's been years since we've seen him on controller, actually.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think, again, if they are continuing to grow in the right direction, and we're, I guess, seeing them wake up a little bit here in the very beginning of the year, it'd be so mechanically talented that if he is able to start to flex around for this team, that could be a very strong benefit for Team Secret.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, the more flexibility you have on a roster, the stronger your roster absolutely can be. It's about not stretching people too thin and trying to force them to do too many things at the same time without them having that kind of just that solid baseline to really work off of. But this is just a big flip here for NDG. The kind of win that you really need to get in a series after you have such a really poor debut here in Pacific. This is a great turnaround for him, and hopefully this is going to, you know, any kind of jitters that he might have had on that first day, hopefully they remain gone.
Yeah, hopefully it's all gone. He's, you know, shaking them all off, especially with this performance, because he's also a kind of player that relies heavily on, you know, on that energy, on that actual energy on stage. He's usually the one alongside Borkum that's actually keeping it up. So this should pretty much be uphill for Team Secret, especially since we're heading into their map pick, which is going to be Breeze.
Yeah, I'm curious to see if the same power happens on Breeze as well. Also, because there were several moments where even though they were steamrolling in that first half, they were playing very overconfident, very cocky, I would say, just straight up, right? I mean, you have Borkum like jump peeking on an entry into Mound and things like that.
Had the door thing with Vash.
Yeah, I mean, sure, you get kills and it worked out against DFM, but especially on a map like Breeze, it's such a wide map that if you do that, you get that one pick and you're not able to enter into the site, suddenly everything shuts down.
Yeah, and again, while it looked improved, we saw a couple more op kills coming through here from Jeremy when he was running that one. This is the map where it's going to be even more important for him. So if he can continue in that trend, finding these opening picks, getting those first kills coming through as the attack tries to come in or as they're trying to push into a site, then this is going to be a really good thing here for the side of Team Secret.
And, you know, map like Breeze, it's a map that you pick with a lot of confidence, right? You can't not pick it and not, you know, want to take those duels. For the side of DFM, I'm wondering if May's morale is shaken up at all. He's a very young player as well. So the rest of the team, DFM, they're going to have to, you know, make sure that that is all intact. He doesn't lose his confidence at all, especially since, again, elimination match, ladies and gentlemen.
Sure. And I think that what we've seen from May already, he's not really going to get rattled too much.
Yeah.
I mean, he's been a competitor for a very long time. He comes into DFM, he kind of inherits this 0-9 scoreline that they had from the last season, and he still is managing to push back. It's really just about getting the support around him.
Yes.
That was lacking for Jerry and Team Secret in their last match. Getting that support that DFM did have in their opening series, because they looked a lot better, and May is still putting up solid numbers, even though the rest of the team isn't accomplishing nearly as much. I mean, this was a very poor game from Anthem in particular.
Yes, I was about to say, let's call it out where it is needed, because you're playing that solo initiator Sky, and if you're not able to trade nor set up the perfect assist for your star duelist, then it's going to be a rough going in that composition that you picked up. Now, going on to Breeze, if they continue with the single duelist Yoru, though, things play a little differently, right? You do have to be a bit more self-sustaining, and actually you have to have a lot more map control as well, because that's how you're going to start choking onto a site or go for those retakes. So I'm very curious if they're able to clean some of that up, especially because they're not playing against the likes of Flashback on the other side.
Right, and going into our map highlights right now, just taking a look back into Lotus, right? We did have a lot of those, I felt like cheeky plays on the side of Team Secret, right? You did have those moments where you almost felt like, are they really going to do this? Are they really going to bring around the Rosie with the rotating door? Are they really going to try, you know, the Judge, for example, inside of Jesse Vash? And somehow it works. And they seem to be one of these teams that can still pull off things like this, for example.
Yeah, I mean, just they try to go for the pop flash out, but you just mow them down, just tucked into the corner. I mean, it was consistently here for Team Secret. They were just consistently catching the members of DFM off, completely off guard. as I stumble over my words. But we saw a little bit of that rally back coming through as the coaching staff of DFM starts pumping the brakes and trying to identify what is going wrong. They get a decent run back where it looked like it might just end up being a 13-1, 13-2 shutout, but this still isn't what they're looking for. You come into this, you select to go to this map, you need to have that strong performance because now they find themselves in a position where they have to play against Team Secret on their map pickup reason. Yes, you have seen them play this, you have decent expectations of what to expect from them, but have you developed enough to counteract it?
Yeah, and I do wonder actually if that's part of it, is that they saw the previous match with Team Secret and they just said they just look so shaky mechanically that we can go for these duels. Because we saw it, I mean, even in that pistol round in the second half, Medusa doesn't have to take that fight 1v2, but he just kind of sits there, plants himself, and says, I can probably get these kills, and Secret shoots back. So as we see, no agent changes here for either team. Hopefully that's something that DFM talked about and say, okay, let's give them the respect they deserve once again. Play it like we did against DRX, against players who will fight back, who will beat us in these duels, and see how we operate on this map.
I actually do like that they're sticking with this agent comp. They're really like, let's run with it, let's commit. Also, we have a second chance to do all of the things that we did wrong the first time, and we have a lot of information on Team Secret on how they play this map. So it's gonna be it's gonna be like, I think, a big question mark on the morale and the energy of both teams, especially since you have DFM, who's a team that needs still like a little bit of steam to get going, right? And Team Secret, it looks like they already are. So we're gonna toss it on over to our casters. No hesitations this time. It's Paper Thin and Asarai.
It's panicking a little bit there because I thought they were going to show our faces, but we're totally fine. We're just getting back into the action. It's going to be Breeze. As
we're just vibing.
Mentioning. Yeah, we were just vibing. I was like, wait, why aren't you panicking? They said pass it to the casters. Now we're fine. Anyways, still the same composition here from Team Secret.
Yeah, so again, both teams kind of have some info, like the desk was pointing out, onto what to expect out of each other. I'm hoping there's a little bit more coordination overall with DFM, not just going back to what we saw with them versus DRX on this map, but also in regards to what we just saw in Lotus. That's when they started putting good rounds together, is when they're playing off of each other, playing for each other. Deep knife early. Just Neth going to give that away on purpose to try to sell. Again, really favoring these false information gives is DFM. We saw it a lot on Lotus on their attacker side. Right back to trying to do it here on Breeze. And they're looking in towards mid now. Maybe setting up for a push one way or another. A flashes out just in case, but that's going to be some sound cues given and a crunch towards B being set up.
True. The only thing that's really helping this B side is the one trap for NDG here. May's going to get the catch on. Jesse Vash is going to get pinned down here. Oh, this is so difficult for Vash. He is rocking a hard place. That's getting him getting smashed, and DFM.
Spike
what a great pitch coming in from mid.
Yeah, nice little setup. I mean, it helps that May just mechanically can outplay his opponents. There was a good chance there. Nice shot, long range from Jeremy with the Ghost.
That does start something, but Sesu, as he peeks up on B main, silences Jeremy. Envy's the only one left. Envy's been good. He's been clutching, the past couple of games for Team Secret, but not this time. DFM just too much overwhelming on the pistol.
Yeah, and finally finding a much-needed pistol win. I think that's their first one of the season, SRI.
Really?
Yep.
Here.
I just was thinking about it, and I'm like, I don't think they won a pistol versus DRX. And they didn't win a pistol on Lotus. So a huge, huge win here. Some crispy shooting. So right back into it is DFM. And again, when May can break down doors for you like that, the desk was also talking about this. When he's kicking indoors, when he can set those opening picks, it's good stuff. And Anthem right on top of NDG.
Yeah, May would love to get as much contact and kills as possible, because if you're feeding him this early on, you're allowing him to just set up that dimensional drift very quickly into some amazing possible plays here for DFM. Envy again by himself. That's going to be the trade, but all things considered, DFM clean second round.
Yeah, really looking forward to some of those dimensional drifts. A lot of times I think of them initially as a great counter to like the Vipers pit, things like that, but you can get them really rolling. I always think about the way that Paper Rex was doing it at the AVL with Forsaken, where they were feeding him tons of orbs and they got 5 dimensional drifts in one half.
Wow.
And absolutely just steamrolled their opponent. But there's so many options, so much flexibility that the dimensional drift gives you beyond just information, but setting up picks, setting up plays, those kind of things. So certainly one of the most powerful ults in the game, and only 3 away from it already is May.
Yes.
The clock has stopped. Oh,
Yeah. I was.
my.
No.
Not again.
If you
Not
don't
like this.
If you don't notice it, don't give it any chance. It won't.
It's like since we have Medusa in the game,
Yeah.
the whole thing with Medusa is you can't look at her. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like, or she'll turn you to stone.
Just don't even notice it, all right? It's not a thing, guys. Don't manifest it. Don't give it any energy. All right. But anyways, absolutely right. It's a great, good start here for DFM. Team Secret, I also just want to add, it feels like there is some bit of lacking control on mid. There is a lot of setup that they have on both the mains, but it seems like the pinch from DFM on mid is enough to really rattle the control of Team Secret here on their defending side.
I think you hit a good point that maybe that's something DFM identified in their VOD review. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Just now, okay, you were right. If we just ignored it, it wouldn't be a problem. We were right back at it.
Yeah, we wouldn't be feeding it, energy or power.
It's like the anti-spirit bomb. Give it energy.
Yeah, suck it away. May's gone here straight on Halls. He has Neth right behind him. Vash,
he pinged it out. They saw it, or they are aware of it at least.
Yeah, but I mean, as long as May doesn't get pushed out, he can get as close as he wants, pop out a flash, and catch Vash unawares. Oh my god. He was just about to use the drone too. I think he got a whiff of where Neth was too. Activating immediately the cascade here. Spots one. Jeremy's backing away now. And that wasn't a commit push onto Halls. They just opened the door and immediately look at the gate crash here from May as he's back on attacker spawn.
Yeah. But already, Team Secret identifying something you were talking about, putting a little bit more pressure onto mid with Jeremy here. He's going to be holding an angle. Sasu taking his time, waiting for a bit of reinforcement. Are they going to be aware? Looks like it.
Ooh, there you go. That's the first contact. And May just swings wide. Usually the term for that is swing and a miss, but no, swing and a hit here for May. Backs away, though, just picks up the weapon, upgrades the weaponry of his team. And they're sneak stuff by. What a timing. That is going to clear up the A site. It's only going to be Borkum holding on as Neth uses the cascade. He is alone. Does he have his watch? Does he have Borkum time? We'll have to see on defense. That's going to be the one. The second!
One enemy remaining.
As he truly activated. Down 5.
A.
He's just caught out in the open. He couldn't really rack against Vash. And Borkum holding that A site for dear life.
Yeah. Checked our watches. It was indeed Borkum time. Absolutely. Nice little hold there from him. But I really like what DFM is doing here in the early part. They're really working the map. They're really making Team Secret have to think about and guess where they're going to go. And then, there's these great gate crashes set up by May. Early on to make these fast rotations. And this one, he had set up another one. It didn't come into play, but to go back towards spawn to set up a flank angle if they're able to secure the site and get the plant down. So, there's layers here to what DFM is trying to do. And now is the real big test. Obviously, that was just the bonus, so not the end of the world that you can't take that one away. Coming through now.
Oh, okay.
Couple Guardians. Ouch. He's so clean.
Truly, that's going to be Hunter's Fury and Dimensional Drift available for DFM here.
That's a great combo.
It is. It could be more than enough to take down Envy here. Right in front of him. Goes for the flash. Actually fights the angle right now. Throws out the fragment. Stop the push from coming in. Jeremy right at the precipice of this wall. Envy's trap can't really commit because he's a little bit too low. Right in front of him, the cascade, as well as the cove, gives a bit of safety. He pushes up, but May's so ready for it. 3 versus 4. NDG, as well as Medusa, playing hide and seek on elbow here while the rest of all the players is stuck outside A main. There it is. There's the Dimensional Drift. All right. He's getting as much information as he can. He hasn't found Jeremy yet.
He didn't see him,
but be able to find a nice little catch here. He's on break.
30 seconds left.
I mean, he can't punish the plant, but he can maybe get the kill, which he does. This is the first one. Medusa coming in from the sidelines as well. Oh my gosh, I don't know if Team Secret knows about this. Jesse Vash is just going to hold the defuse. They won't allow him to do this, though. But he got the kill on the Medusa. A possibility, a chance. Not at all, as Sasu's gone for the snake bite. Can't wait a little bit for it. Too much damage. Bash is coming in. NDG for the swing. And all he needs is about a second, which... Did he get it? He did.
Oh my god, he did. Oh. Oh. Okay. So, a lot going on in that round. DFM there not identifying Jeremy's position probably loses them this round. That cost them an extra player. They lost the Hunter's Fury early as well to Anthem. But then you lose May, a tremendous player. Medusa can't get his aim down in time to take out Jesse. And Sesu commits 2 really fast snake bites. I'm not exactly sure why. I think he had a little bit of time there, right? To like throw
space
one.
it out.
Yeah, exactly. So that also maybe cost them that extra half a second they needed to secure that round.
Yeah, 100% agree with that. I don't know, maybe it's just nerves or them feeling hypey that, it feels like this round is already theirs, so they can just throw out anything and it'll be secure, but not going to happen this time. Anyways, looking at the positions real quick here. Massive mid control right now for DFM. Jesse Vash from a safe location activates a Sova drone. Halls might be opened up again here by Medusa, as he's already creeped up way past safety, or the safety of his own side of Halls.
And real quick, this round is really important just looking at the economies of both teams. Not so great on either side. A little bit worse as Team Secret, but this one really, really important for potentially how this one is going to swing one way or another. Jeremy holding that close angle with the Judge even. NDG with a Bulldog. Barely able to scrape together a buy here. A half buy was DFM, but here they go, going for the execute.
There's the flash. They're trying to, but the snake bite delays them.
30 seconds left.
TP was just a ruse. It was a fake. Invy's around the corner here. He's playing peekaboo with the players of DFM. There's the activation on the Hunter's Fury. Not going to get anybody, but look at this. Borkum holding the angle on stairs, able to go in for the pinch. May's taking too much damage here. One's going to be right on top, but angles have been cleared, cut up, and just basically, again, plugged by Team Secret, stopping any form of offense from DFM.
Yeah, all it took here was some very, very smart play from Borkum. A couple snake bites to delay, and then using those stairs to great effect. Not giving himself away, not giving up his life. Did a ton of damage to May there initially. May tried to check that angle, but Borkum was patient, didn't give it up. Some snappy shooting from Envy, as we've come to expect from him. And yeah, Borkum should be happy about that round. He played that very, very well.
Absolutely. It is weird when you're hearing your own countrymen speak words, because I know what they're saying, but I can't translate it for a broadcast. Anyways, Borkum, nasty shot onto May. And you know what happens when May goes down? The offense from DFM just really again, just drops.
You would hope it doesn't, but that tends to unfortunately be the case sometimes.
Jeremy.
But you know what? Yeah?
Could be that contact on Medusa here, who's...
I think they've just... Okay, well now he gave his position away when he fired that shot.
Absolutely.
And they just had no idea. I mean, these positions from Jeremy have been so smart. They're really catching DFM off guard. Trying to work the map, and Jeremy's able to find those little nooks and crannies that DFM isn't checking and making them pay.
Pay dearly they shall, as, again, they've lost so much of the map already. Same thing happening here. Quick little crisscross of the toxic screens. High Tide to use for a bit of that safety as they try to enter into the site. Once Borkum finds that contact, Jeremy's just one step away from getting the kills, and should be able to engulf them. Man has some very slippery movements. Oh, he gets a kill because of the reload of Jeremy, and now it's actually been turned up on his head. NDG has a judge. He needs to pick something up differently. There is a reckoning right now. NDG could get basically, again, flushed out here, and Neth could have the highlight of the day, picking up a round for DFM where it honestly should not have been. One versus one is not looking in the right direction.
Hiya.
Indeed.
It's so close. Neth doing everything he can to try to get this round back for DFM, but You know, what a shot from Borkum. Great angle. And again, these cheeky positions from Jeremy continue to just absolutely devastate. Now, Jeremy, I think should have just, if he was going to go up and over like that, just stuck with the classic and tried to right-click it down, right? But
yeah. So this is what we call overheating.
That is overheating. 100%.
Going back to our discussion.
That was overheating. 100%.
All right.
Ooh, Op and a Blade Storm, though. A bunch of alts. Team Secret to play with. Let's see how Borkum wants to use this Viper's Pit. May still 3 away from his ult, so. But there's the Medusa ult.
Borkum just
doesn't matter. He just steps out and kills.
Yeah. I mean, he still has the safety of that that brick there for him to kind of jiggle in and out of, even through the cascade. Jeremy picks up Medusa. Bit of a spread for DFM here, and you haven't really found a position or an approach that is clear-cut. It's, again, just a little bit too spread.
Yep. And they're doing that thing they did on Lotus in one of their eco rounds where they just went all over the map individually trying to make plays, and didn't really work out then, and so far hasn't really worked out now. Jesse's totally aware of this. Yeah. He is 100% expecting them to try to push this angle.
Question is, does he win the duel, though? Because he's up against May. Woo! Okay, that flash actually gets him. Fake. Not fake. Die to the real one. That's an opening right now for DFM. Into the corner, Borkum should be able to spot this, but you should not be able to deal with it. That's the big problem here. As DFM, they've called for the play for picks. It actually works in their favor. Envy, but now they know where he is. Oh! Sorry, that wasn't Envy. That was Jeremy. Either way, Jets down, no blades, opportunity garnered, and this is going to be, from what a couple of seconds ago should have been a smooth round for Team Secret. They're going to have to retake against DFM.
Yeah. I mean, you do still have the Neural Theft available. No command as well. There it goes. Neural Theft going to come through, and immediately Envy's looking for sees. Sesu, excuse me. Good job. Being cagey inside of there. Not
He found Anthem. He found Anthem. They can still push in. Sesu is 5 HP, but he has the Viper's Pit as well as the Snake Bites to delay. And DG is going to have to just make as much noise as possible. He can't even find his opponent, and that's going to be Sesu with the 4K. And DFM. Magicians just creating situations out of nowhere.
You're absolutely correct. I mean, Neth almost did it in the previous round. This time, Sesu able to convert. And that is, I mean, it worked this time. And it's because of individual plays like May is able to do to take out Jesse Bash on the backside of the map. Sesu able to win some big fights and get to that pit. I mean, that's what's crucial about this round. And the Neural Theft is there. Immediately, Team Secret does a lot of good things to try to get rid of Sesu, get rid of that pit. But Sesu, very wise to it, able to maneuver around that ultimate.
And again, you know, just because there's so much artifacts or like things that he can hide behind in that pit as well, it makes it 100 times worse for NDG to just, you know, try to scan him. So he just had to YOLO something and hope that he could find Sesu before it was too late. It's too late, excuse me.
Yep. Well, both teams gonna pump the brakes a little bit here. It was starting to feel like Team Secret just really had a great read on them. They were really starting to understand DFM's game plan, and you know, again, it is a risk to take to do what DFM did in that previous round, where you call on your players to just kind of go out on their own and try to win some solo battles, but it paid off. They're just barely able to scrape through, literally 5 HP away from losing that round.
Hey, I mean, if you're able to squeeze one in, why not, right?
Yeah.
4-3. All DFM wants, all DFM needs. TS, Team Secret, they're not out of it just yet in terms of like creds too, so perfectly fine. Oh, this drone. Gotta be spotting Jeremy, but does it spot the other one? They're going in for maybe a quick little pinch, but that is the baited switch. Yeah, Borkum found one. Jesse Bash as well. Envy. Okay, let's just get kills all across the board. It's the same one round that we saw on Lotus. Why not? And Anthem and Medusa immediately is like, what? Where's our team?
What happened? I mean, it's just great setup. I mean, right? Like, they're so smart. Just right off of contact, immediately Jesse has the lineup for the Hunter's Fury. Oh, Medusa. Oh, we didn't see him initially. I think he missed his head. I don't think he saw it over that mound.
He did not. I mean, I feel like, you know, Sova's head just blends in perfectly with the
It's like the same color, yeah.
Anthem's alone. I mean, May was able to create an opening, but this might be too tall of an order for Anthem.
I mean, he's had nutty aces in the past. Last year, he had a couple of them that were absolutely ridiculous. But this is,
30
I mean,
seconds
he's saving, so it's
Yeah.
basically impossible unless they just all just run out in front of him.
I would love to see Jeremy just say, guys, I'm going to drop on vents and see what happens. Oh, wait. He's coming back. He's looking at the weapons. He's going shopping, but maybe. Ah, look at it. Go, 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 go.
Drop a shock dart in there, yeah.
They did!
Oh, there he got I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's so fun to watch Team Secret today because they're so on the ball.
Yeah.
They're really just reading their opponents so good today.
Look
Oops.
at that, too. You're absolutely right. That big oops.
I mean, again, Medusa. Oh, gosh. That just feels so bad.
Okay, quick translation. Hulika means I caught you.
Okay.
See, this is...
You can translate that one safely.
Yeah, at least for the Team Secret games. If they can survive the tournament, I can keep doing this for them.
Well, you do have Dimensional Drift, Neural Theft, and then still that Null Command for Envy, and there you go.
Yeah. They haven't gone for any of the B pushes just yet. May's getting a lot of information on NDG right in front of him, and he has the reload! No! The shorty! Just a bit shy of shutting down NDG, and everything that could go wrong has gone wrong for DFM.
It's just a fast executed, dialed up set play off the back of that Dimensional Drift, and you're hoping May should be good for that. But the shorty bullets were not in his favor. Just not quite enough to finish the job. And then it all just came falling apart. Just chaos there. In a blink and you miss it round.
Yeah.
So we like to say, Team Secret holding firm, not giving up anything. And great maneuverability there by NDG. I mean, making it as hard as possible. And okay, Medusa off the rip right through the smoke, able to pull that Neural Theft.
That's going to be huge, too. Again, they got the -1 already against Jeremy. NDG's alone for a good chunk of seconds here, especially now that, again, as you mentioned, they got that Neural Theft. The setups for DFM should be a whole lot more consistent, a whole lot more solidified. And they're pushing them in. But the spike, it's not going to be. It's a ruse. It's a fake. Cam might have been able to spot that, though, Paper.
And this is a great call because it was May who got identified by Jesse Vash's utility, by the recon dart and the drone.
Yeah.
And then you have to assume that where May is, that's where the attack is going. So this call to pull off and change directions is really, really smart from DFM.
Not just that, Medusa holding an angle here, placing himself on a nice little lurk. Lurk for lurk. Envy needs to find Sesu, but he cannot. Medusa's given away his positioning. No, never mind. NDG's alone. 3 versus 1 does find May. Sneaking somewhere. Sorry, that's a 4 versus 1. But, I mean, there's... Okay, never mind. He's somewhat fighting. If he can find May, activate the Neural Theft, does he have enough time to get close onto the site and maybe work his magic?
I'm like listening for the spike ticker.
Feels like no, right?
Well, I mean, DFM would have to really overstep here, but
yeah,
just
Take
grab the
off.
up and go. Yeah, that's smart.
Okay.
Oh, hurt him.
Another event play.
Do it. He doesn't have a util though.
Ah, no, he backs away. Okay.
They can't afford to drop any more guns here. Their economy's just in the gutter.
Look at the pepperoni pings by DFM, all at lower mid.
The pepperoni pings.
It's all red. Yeah, they were just like, I hear him. He's right here. No, he's here. He's here.
No,
he's here.
I know. I just... I have never heard it called that before. What do you call the green ones then? The defender side pings.
Ooh, bell pepper.
Bell pepper? Okay. All right, sure.
I'll take it.
Not bad. I feel like we can do better, but that's not bad.
Get back to me later or tomorrow.
Okay. Looking ahead, only a Spectre. Again, the money was bad for detonation, so a Spectre for Anthem. But he's got the Hunter's Fury.
Yeah.
See how they want to dial this one up. Knife out. That's going to get quite a few players. You're going to get a lot of information out of that. I mean, it's weird to see both the Cypher and May together, though, and no one else. Like, that's got to be kind of like a a confusing thing for Team Secret, but instead they just say, okay, well, we'll just keep holding our positions off of that info. You know, the drone, though, starting to make you think maybe this could be an A hit. Immediately, you know, the snake bite there to delay the plant potentially, but DFM still struggling to really get to where they want to be. Going to use that recon dart to buy some time. Hunter's Fury to cover.
And Envy's just going to absorb it. He had to force out the null command there, and that might not have been the best null command, to be honest. I mean, yeah, sure, it'll deactivate the thing here, the setups for DFM. Envy's back up into play. Now they can start working their magic for this retake. It's a little bit iffy here, and there's still so many angles of alert right now for DFM. Team Secret's already onto the site, but they're just gonna get shot through the smoke. They're whoa, this is a bit Hail Mary for them, honestly. Too much YOLO. Flash right in, and my God, is he gonna be able to do it? NDG, no. The Cyber Cage, not long enough. That was something.
It was weird. I mean, to be fair to Team Secret here, when you're like that knife, when you see, because usually, right, Medusa's lurking around the map, right?
Yeah.
Like, that's typically what he's going to do. But you see him with Mei on that knife, you got to like, that's a really hard like equation to process in your head, because you're like, well, wait, Mei is like their entry guy, but he's with Medusa. Is this some kind of like fast hit? I don't know. And then they kind of take their time. I don't know how I feel about Envy popping the null command to absorb the Hunter's Fury. I mean, they do get the res.
Yeah.
He was dead anyway, I guess, so might as well.
Fair enough, right? They wanted
and there's only like one more round anyway.
Yeah, they wanted the bodies anyways. Quick little flash out here. But they're holding on. The TP is all a ruse. They're basically just zombie rushing. Zerg rushing, rather. Whoa, where was that?
What a shock dart
from Jesse Vash. Jeremy finds Anthem. And this is such a very confusing, very chaotic fight that it feels like it should be going DFM's way, but it's actually Team Secret. Dust settles, Medusa's alone. And they were able to funnel all their abilities on that entryway on double door.
Yep.
Switching sides.
You know, DFM tried to brute force their way through, but Jesse and company gummed up the works there. They, you know, Jesse gets the drone, I'm pretty sure, that caught C's up and over, so they sprayed him down, got a little bit of damage, and then he nailed a really nice shock dart to finish off that chip damage they did. So that kind of began the demise, and blowing off the mic there. Okay, or excuse me, the mouses. Oh, okay, everybody. Wait, are they talking into them, or they're like, you know, cooling them off because they're hot? Because they're like blowing on them.
Is there dust on the sensors?
That might be too.
Okay. I mean, that would have been cooler too. It's like, you know, our mouses are getting so hot because we're flicking too fast.
yeah, that's what I thought.
We're overheating the engines.
Yeah. Like you're getting ready to play your Nintendo games, you gotta like do. I don't know if you had this, but
I had a Super Nintendo.
Yeah. So you had to like blow into it to get it to work.
Yeah. We're living in that same generational space.
All right, good. I'm glad.
I just might not look like it.
You do look very good for your age.
Oh, you too. Very.
Thank you.
But anyways, I also just wanted to add, you know, you were talking about how Jesse Bash was so good at those shock darts. It just felt like it was easier for Team Secret to throw everything in that one direction when DFM's just pushing in that one direction. You know?
I think like what concerns me about DFM is sometimes they miss opportunities, they miss windows because they're not confident enough, they're not aggressive enough when they should be. And like that has cost them a couple rounds. Like I think back to that Lotus round where they had a 4v2. They had him pinched right outside of A-Link, right, on Lotus, and then they don't pull the trigger on it and they end up like falling apart.
Angles,
So I think like for DFM, it's all about just like if you're gonna commit to something, like somebody's got to be the voice on the team to just be like, you know, go. You have to do this. They have to be the taskmaster.
Actually, can you refresh my memory? Who's the IGL here for DFM?
Should be Anthem.
Okay.
Could be Medusa. I don't know, but I'm pretty sure it's Anthem.
Speaking of Anthem, he's gotten the first pick. Ooh, second and third too. The sheriffs. I'm the law before the outlaw was a thing. Push outs from Medusa here. Envy.
Oh no.
Gets
the lurk.
Actually a pick as well with the help of Jesse Vash. And as you mentioned, it is the lurk. Spike was in Envy's hands, so he can't just willy-nilly rotate either to Vash or onto B, because now he's getting hunted by the rest of DFM that's slowly creeping up here on lower mid. Ooh, they just barely passed him too. This is stressful.
He should get maybe some awareness once Jesse checks mid and it's open.
You're not looking into where Envy is, though.
Yep.
Now he does! And he even gets Sesu. This is huge paper. He can start running on to B now if he's careful, if he has time. Might be able to. Vash finds another one, but he looks in the other direction, thinking that he might have actually separated from his team. And now Envy, he can't push it to the side. He has to just get a pick first, then be safe, then get a kill if he can. 19 seconds. Does he or will he wait? And the suspense is killing me. There's the pop flash. Not gonna happen. That's too good. There's just too many players of DFM.
Yeah, I mean, those couple of early shots that were landed were really devastating here for Team Secret because the rest of this round is played really, really well by them. And they, Jesse again, making such good reads. Great communication here. Because as soon as Jesse checks mid, Envy pumps the brakes and starts checking 4 players near spawn, right? Like, he takes those tight angles to look for anybody. But the better shooting here from DFM with those sheriffs gets them over the line. So that's another pistol win. That's 2 in this map. And that could be huge here for DFM. Maybe going to be able to get their first map win as well to back up these pistol rounds. You win 2 pistols. Something like about 80% of the time you win the map. So
yeah, it's pretty huge too. Think about it. You were talking about how DFM haven't gotten any pistol wins. Also, just wanted to point out real quick, it's only Envy that is using a sheriff. So they're pretty well aware that DFM could use an outline. Just hard saves on this second round. Anyways, that's the break on the tripwire. So finally, Jeremy can go into the site without getting tripped up and insta-killed here by Medusa.
Well, it's going to be DFM just playing for full-on retake. Medusa going to be able to dodge the drone. And now holding the angles, waiting for the reinforcements. Gate crash going to be put towards the back of the site.
Now, using the cascade, there's a lot of these pockets. Opportunities maybe for Team Secret. A couple of trades here and there. May still pushing up in. There's a little bit of a late lurk too coming in from NDG here, but Medusa and Anthem just too quick. Spike. Pretty far from this exploding. They can retake it. They can take their time, and they have equalized this game.
And once again, you're getting May 3 charges away from his ult with the Dimensional Drift off of these first couple wins. You're keeping a lot of really good guns into this bonus round. Guardian, 2 Bulldogs, and a Marshal. So a really good chance here for DFM to potentially convert. Like you said, even though the site is pretty well dissected by these smokes, they're still able to really navigate their way very nicely. I saw some good pings coming out, some quick reactions to some of the hidden positions or attempted to be hidden positions of Team Secret. So that's a solid round for Detonation Focus Me.
Now Team Secret on this gun round. Any explosive entries? Oh, that's going to be one. Ouch. Well, it wasn't an entry, but almost a kill on May there if he didn't have the gate crash up and ready as he was pushing up on top mid. Pinged by the dart. Well, the rest of Team Secret, I thought they were going to push through double door here, Paper, but it's all on possibly B or elbow.
Yeah, starting to look like that for sure, but Anthem, all he sees is NDG, so that's not really a great indication that this is a B hit like it is setting up to. Now, May is starting to push up way down hall, so things should start to kind of, like, alarm bells should be ringing in DFM's head that, okay, this might not be A.
He's alone. He's also got tagged by the blade, though, so his trap shouldn't be up for a while. Medusa's just in a world of hurt. Whoa, but no, he puts the hurt himself as he gets one trade in. Yes, there's going to be made to assist him. 2 versus 3, but this is painful for Team Secret. They had to really go tooth and nail when it looked like it should have been a cleaner round for them. Neth separating once again with the cascade. Uses it to push up. Isolates, finds Borkum. We can find Jeremy. That's going to be huge! But it's Sesu from downtown. 1-2 with the Sheriff. Absolutely huge. And DFM. What a retake.
That was nasty. That was some great shooting from Sesu. Really having strong performance here today. Picking it up for his team, where maybe you don't have May popping off necessarily. Well, Sesu is right on it. Wow. Neth, quick to react. This is crispy shooting right there. Very nice with that Sheriff. And just a wry little smile from Sesu.
He knows.
And I think it was it Medusa that was pinned behind that box?
Yes.
And went for the transfer. He headshot, I'm pretty sure it was Jeremy.
Yeah.
Got the dink, thought he had the kill, so he transferred up, but actually got the kill on the other guy, but didn't actually finish off Jeremy. Jeremy was at like
fast.
5 HP. Yeah. No, I mean it was a great spray down. He really gave them the opportunity to win this round. Ooh, Outlaw.
On the entry,
Wait,
too.
is that a Marshall?
No, it's an Outlaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. If it looks like an Outlaw, should be an Outlaw.
It looked like it. Yeah. Well, the problem is there's a couple Marshalls as well in the in the Team Secret weapon pool. So I was like, wait, did I just see the skin and think? Because sometimes like the Spectre skins kind of look like a Phantom.
Jeremy's about to get the contact on Anthem here, and all he needs a body shot. That's probably the reason why the Marshals are here too, right?
Yeah.
You get a bit of tag. You don't need to headshot. If Jeremy can find another one with the Outlaw, free kills.
Really good point. May's got that operator, and he's really weak. So this could end up just being a save if Death can't just tear him apart here and get a little maybe out of Medusa. But nope, Medusa's not even ready.
My ult's ready.
And he's just gonna keep getting these kills.
You gotta save.
Yeah. I mean, this is painful to be in when you're a DFM. Neth, he can. The only exit that he has is just to get back on Halls. Unless he breaks the trip, Jeremy looks in his direction and picks him off, and he's half shield only, so that Outlaw is going to be the executioner of him if he's not careful. He hears it too. Or just stays in his position. I mean, he's not going to get hit by the Event Horizon, so he's fine. Never mind. He's good.
Yeah, this is a great call for Team Secret in terms of just putting a power weapon, even though, you know, you wouldn't necessarily think of the Outlaw as a power weapon off the rip like an Op or an Odin, but because they're only... Wait, you go, Jeremy! I did not expect that.
We weren't looking at the minimap, both of us. It's like...
Eyes down.
I did not expect that at all, but that's the opt down. I mean, I was trying to praise Team Secret for their decision to go into the Outlaw because it's been a lot of half armors for DFM, and I think they finally recognized that we can maybe start doing some damage for them on some of these sort of ecos, these half buys that we're coming out with.
Yeah.
Start stealing some rounds away.
Now you have that extra strat, is it, right? To just buy Outlaws and Marshals. Don't get kills, get tags, and then we'll get kills.
Yeah. Just trade off.
Oh, this is bad for Jeremy. He actually might be in a bad spot here, but nobody chases. Team Secret right beside him. There's the null command activated already. They know that Anthem should be somewhere here because of that dart. Jeremy finds one, but this is still pretty dang good for DFM if Medusa can hold his position while the rest of his teammates come in for the flank already, but Jeremy is unleashed here, Paper. May coming in for the flash. Jeremy will get shut down.
Cutting through.
Plan has to get repositioned because they don't really want to be exposed right now to May, who has so many angles to work with, using that drift to start clearing up things. The flash right out, spots out Envy. There it is, repositioned. Envy, though! The May syndrome starts once again, ripping out his knife to reposition, but Envy's just too fast.
Yeah, and I wonder if maybe that flash bounced a bit past Envy there, or if Envy just turned it. I mean, Envy's been really good at turning flashes from one. We've seen it from his perspective today. But this... Ooh. There's that classic that we wanted to see when he's in the air. There, on the back of the site, Medusa kind of doesn't swing wide enough to really give himself the angle to get those first couple of kills, and he pulls off, and then he's in a really bad spot because he's given away his position. He's the only one on the site, and there's 3 members of Team Secret there just waiting for him to peek out one way or another, and Jesse's right there with great crosshair placement to take him down. So what started as kind of like, it might look like a bad execute for Team Secret, turned into a really good one just because there was a little bit of a fumble there from DFM.
Absolutely. And the rotation or the response from the players that weren't on the site just took a few seconds too long. You know, that's all Secret needed. I honestly thought that it was, as you mentioned, right, going to go for a DFM round win here, but it just wasn't.
But it's like that, it's that commitment, like this trust that they have in Jesse to make these play calls.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to dial up a fast execute. We're just going to go for it. Everybody's going to W key into the site, and we're just going to try it. And the fact that they commit to it is what gives them the win, like you're talking about, because it takes that much longer for DFM to get there because it's so fast. And because Medusa just can't hang on. I mean, if Medusa gets one more kill there, it's potentially a very different round.
100%. What is the method to the madness with this buy here? Hero Vandal for May.
They've done this a couple times. Like, just give your best player the best weapon and
True.
Pray that it works. I mean, you do have the potential to combo some stuff here, right? If you can get a pick or get a kill, Medusa could pop the Neural Theft. You can use the Hunter's Fury to maybe grab another gun. Kind of do a little bit of gun game. Oh, no, not like this.
NDG, you just saw him, NDG!
Oh my God! NDG!
No dice! NDG! Alright, there's other kills on the map. Jeremy gets his own, right? But that's a weapon in his hand. It might actually fall down if Neth can hold on here on A main. Dust settles, Borkham and Bash alive. Sesu coming in from double doors. Medusa, if he clutches this round, that is going to be the biggest facepalm for NDG here, as he has a rifle in hand. Wall coming in, Borkham running away. Medusa looking to punish, but that's not going to happen. Jesse Bash, he's going the other direction here. He's coming down on shoot, and this actually might not be too good. He does put the snake bite on the spike here. And Medusa, it can be 3/4 only. Bash, all he has to do is just wait, and if he's not careful, he might actually lose, but he does not. Medusa, though, oh my God, my heart.
I mean, it's just so funny, and you could see, like, NDG just, like, scrambling to figure out where the heck the B-site player is when he's walking in there. He's like, why is nobody in here? Because, like, the other Cypher is busy checking out his camera. Has no idea either. Somehow reacts to it, get the kill. I mean, what a wild moment. But what a great recovery there from Team Secret. Jeremy with a nice little pick on the backside, and now he's got an op. Now he's got a Blade Storm. Now they've got the pit. Now they've got their own Neural Theft. A lot of tools here to play with for Team Secret. And, I think Team Secret here hoping that they can find an early kill with this op, and then potentially you could drop it down and then switch to the Blade Storm here for Jeremy to give you that entry potentially. I mean, there's a lot of great options available for them. But still, you do have the Reckoning and the Hunter's Fury. Great counters potentially to that Viper's Pit if it is going to be played down. So, DFM, I think, should be playing this cautious, and so far are.
They have used that Sova drone on top mid. It didn't really get any clearer information, but Team Secret also heard it as well. Anyways, counter Sova drone. Just to check the elbow position right now.
Get out of my way.
Was there a follow-up here? Oh, I think they tagged the blade onto Medusa, so trips have been deactivated. Jeremy going a little bit too high, and Medusa just cannot shut him down. Anthem does go down in the process, but May is here, able to help out his teammate. NDG coming around to the corner, loses the fight, all down to Jesse Bash, 4 versus 1.
30 seconds left.
A couple of the opponents are tagged down here, Paper, but it's a very tall order here for Bash. Getting closer into the corner, did not know that May has pocketed himself there on elbow, and DFM, make it clean.
I like the idea here from Team Secret. I mean, you've got Medusa potentially dead to the rights, but he did this round what he couldn't do previously, is hold the back of that site, do some damage, get some kills, buy some time for the reinforcements to come. And there it was in May. It's a great shot there, standing through the damage of that Molly. And May, very fast, very quick. DFM, 9-10, neck and neck here on Breeze. Can they turn this back? Can they get this back to even scoreline? Go.
There's Hunter's Fury.
Got the ping.
He's going to chase for it? No, he gets back. Gate crashes back. Important tag. No, tag only. Singular. Puts Borkham down to 45.
Spike retrieved.
That was fishing, and he managed to snag a bite. And especially on a Borkham, that's a problem. There's no heals, right? On Team Secret.
Yeah.
He's got that pit. If you can get him down quick, that's that powerful, powerful ult out of the hands of Team Secret. Very, very quick in this round, potentially, and makes it that much more difficult.
I like how Neth is here on elbow. He's shown himself up because of the high tide, and a very quick reckoning, too. Was he expecting him to actually push up into the smoke very quickly? Regardless of, it's going to be Neth taking down NDG. Oh, that is a sweet pocket to play inside. Is Envy going to catch this? Absolutely not. Trade for trade, though. But this is not a clean B-side take that they were kind of hoping for. Anthem falls down. Jeremy needs to pick up the slack against May, but he cannot. May's has been too much. Is Yoru unbelievably difficult to face, to deal with? Jesse Bash comes around the corner here, goes down, and Borkum, it's exposition. He's taken so much damage from the first part that it might actually just ruin him on this one. He's down to 45.
He's blocking him.
He's fighting back, though. Okay, hold him for a second. All right. 10 to 10.
I love it.
We're equalized.
I love it, May. Well done. But that's like such a interesting round because it swings back and forth so many times. When that pick gets down, then you start to think, okay, Team Secret, they've got a really good chance. But then May picks up a couple kills and gets that dimensional drift and makes it that much easier for them to take it down. Again, that dimensional drift, such a powerful counter to the Viper's pit. And May, so important, so crucial when his team needs him. Able to get it done once again. That's going to force a timeout here at Sarai.
Yeah.
I have to assume from Team Secret.
I assume as well. Just have to add here that it just feels like, I mean, we're probably going to look at the stats later, right, after this game. The kill to death ratio of both May and Jeremy feels like Jeremy has the, what do you call it? Like, he just loses all of the fights against May. And this is such a big thing for Team Secret. Because
I see what you're saying.
He can't stop the top fragger of DFM here. And there's so many instances where he has that 1v1 against him and he just loses against May.
Yeah, could be. It does feel like that. I mean, May is winning a lot of important battles at times. You've seen a lot of the other players step up. Sesu early on in this map was having some really critical rounds. And now, Medusa had a really good one earlier when he's able to hold on. Now we're back to that Marshall Outlaw buy. But it's full armors this time for DFM because they have plenty of money. So still looking for that chip damage into the trade. See if they can get it done. Sesu has his Viper's Pit.
It's a 4-stack on A.
Yeah, they're really expecting like some kind of fast hit, but it's all a lineup for mid.
There it is, very quickly. Jeremy's even preemptively triggered his Tailwind, expecting any form of resistance here.
They're just pushing out.
Yeah, Bash is spotting this though.
They gotta back off. I mean, now might be a good time to just invest that pit onto A and shift your forces over to try to contain Team Secret. But instead, they're just gonna leave Neth there to watch it. He's gonna take a smidge of damage there from that Marshall.
It's already enough HP for him to get taken down by the Outlaw.
Yep.
The quick little mats here. Oh, he's not gonna spot May. I mean, it was a left and right, but right. Difficult situation to be in for Jeremy.
Right here.
It's not looking too hot though for Team Secret as they're just stuck looking for openings, but they're doing it one by one again. Where we were talking about how Outlaw and Marshall should work in perfect harmony. It's a yin and yang, but there is no yin and yang here.
Yeah, this time felt a little bit more like play for yourself type style. Ooh.
30 seconds
I think
left.
you saw him. I'm gonna see him now. Got the tag.
Okay. These are the last two players though for Team Secret 2. That wall does stop
one enemy remaining.
Camera from getting any information, and Borkum just again YOLO's a plan. Not gonna work. DFM so clean.
They're starting to feel it now. They're starting to get into gear. Everything looking crisper and cleaner. Decision making starting to get better. Starting to really get in the flow of the game is DFM, and that's scary for Team Secret on their map pick. You had to feel really confident after how dominant they were on Lotus. Medusa, stupid ADSing there. Neth has been really clean the last couple of rounds. I mean, this is getting a little scary. If you're a Team Secret fan, still have both those ults for the side of DFM. Still a neural theft for NDG. And still not going to commit. Seems like DFM's game plan with those Viper's Pits is more to use them towards later rounds or post plants. They feel like they have a better opportunity to maybe get some value out of it.
Bottom closed.
May just looking to scooch his way through. Is he going to push all the way towards their spawn? Well, there's a camera there, my guy.
Why not? Right? Why not? Quick little dashes through. Where is Medusa? Game of hide and seek. He's nowhere on the site. He is somewhere on wall. Backs away onto tunnel here. That toxic screen for Borkum giving some nice little leeway just to get in. This is going to be difficult for Team Secret as NDG is going to be holding the flank right now on B main while the rest of his teammates are going to have to hold the site itself.
He needs help. NDG needs help.
No one is going to be peeking him. Oh, this is bad. He's getting flashed out here, but he's not giving away his position. But look at how stressful this is for NDG. If he can get one, maybe that's going to be good enough. As Sesu and May come in, knocking on the door on B main. Jesse Bash finds one onto Anthem. Team Secret needs this here and now. Viper Pit to push up and be right in front. That Viper Pit is just shy of the spike too, so they can't really get into it and start defusing. And they have just bypassed each other, but there it is. Jeremy finds 2 kills with the classic, and Team Secret hold on.
I like the ideas from DFM, but it's just really well accounted for by Team Secret. All that Cypher utility from NDG is watching those flank angles. So there's a trap wire there, there's a camera. Everything they needed to make sure they had the info on this angle. And since Jesse Bash is able to win on the other side, that changes it from a flank into a one-directional attack, which they tried to overcome by using the Viper's Pit.
Yeah.
Didn't matter. And this is... I think I'd rather see an early Viper's Pit, but, you know, I get the idea. Just at that point, the round was pretty one-sided.
Ooh, Neth. He's threading a needle here. He is threading the needle, but he cannot be the shield on the site. In B, manages to find 2.
Player standing.
And it's all down to May. And the weapon that he chooses to actually bring into this one, too, is the operator.
He's in trouble.
Yeah, not the best. Oh. I mean,
jeez,
he could have been the danger too, but that's good for one.
I mean, he hit a nice shot and then dinked, double dinked with the classic. I mean, not bad.
Yeah.
But again, it's starting to feel like it's slipping out of the control. It's kickoff point now for DFM. They lose this next round, they're out. They're done. It's over.
You're right. I actually totally forgot about that. It just turned into a sick game, and both teams
track them down.
Absolutely fantastic.
I got so engrossed in the match.
True. You got so invested in it.
Yeah, really. I'm loving what both teams are doing, and I'm thrilled that Team Secret looks much more dialed in today, and I like that DFM still has a lot of fight after a rough map 1. So. Gotta like what you're seeing, but this may be the end of the line for DFM. We'll see. It's Team Secret shifting their way towards the left-hand side of the map.
I think they waited for the gate crash of May before they actually started pushing in. Jeremy, Medusa put in a really bad spot. You saw the snakebite was right behind him. He really couldn't retreat into safety at all. May timing something. Here comes the flash. Looks straight in front of him, but could not deal with NDG quickly enough. Sesu and Neth, both of the controllers still alive here for DFM. If they can put some cover, get closer onto the side, maybe they can work with something. Pushing both into tunnel here. Does he have Cascade? Yes, he does. But they want to get closer first, using the toxic screen to their advantage. Dropping it down to NDG, and it's all Sesu. He's been good, but NDG picks up the slack, and Team Secret keep themselves alive and eliminates DFM.
Really nice bounce back here for Team Secret after a very rough first day for them. Come back looking much cleaned up, much better. DFM able to kind of get their composure back here on the second map. Really looked like a somewhat better team, but as it wore on, you can see kind of the smarts, the fundamentals of Team Secret were just too much for them to deal with. You saw some kind of little mistakes here and there for DFM that cost them some rounds, and this could have actually been their map. I mean, I think about that one round where I think Sesu let loose with the snake bites a little too early.
Yeah.
Things like that could have completely changed the dynamic of this map. Regardless, I will say, and I think we can all agree, that DFM looks better this year. Absolutely. At least so far.
Everybody looks better this year. An upgrade, as I think I keep quoting Coach Alex on that. It's just a whole different spell for them. And again, that's going to be that, right? Loving to see it. Predictions.
Good job.
Yeah. That's the first, at least I think, really sure prediction I got. So I'm padding my stats ever so slightly.
I had to stick with my just, pre-season predictions.
Yeah.
I
Fair
definitely
enough.
kind of had that lingering thought in the back of my mind. I'm like, Team Secret will probably just bounce back. Like there's just too much veteran presence on that team. Like, they're not going to come out and just.
They have those days.
Yeah, everybody does, right? Yeah. So I'm very happy about this. Love to see that they're back. Obviously, it hurts to see DFM go. You were really hoping that with especially with what they showed against DRX, I thought today might be their opportunity to really showcase that they're going to be a threat in this league, and they still are, of course. But you're hoping to see maybe that first match win in VCT. It's been a long time for DFM fans since their team has been able to find a win, and today just wasn't it.
So DFM is the second team to get eliminated here, as Bleed was the first one to go. There it is. Team Secret. Celebratory pictures and everything. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Just an upgraded DFM. May was, sorry for the lack of a better term, amazing in his duelist role. Really
You're
picking
not
up.
the first to do that.
I know. It's low hanging fruit. I get it.
No, I know. I mean, it's so funny. Like there are certain names that are just so easy to do. Yeah.
Anyways, guys, this has been your first series. We're about to pass it into the stage to our interviewer to, of course, get some words with the player of Team Secret. So let's have it.
Make ways, Valorant Champions Tour Pacific Kickoff Day 4th win goes to TS. Congratulations.
Thank you.
네, Vct Pacific Kickoff 이제 네 번째 날이 밝아왔습니다. 오늘은 TS의 승리로 시작했는데요. 지금 NDG 선수와 인터뷰 나눠보겠습니다. Oh, so NDG, it's massive congrats to your team, and it's your first win in the kickoffs. How do you feel? And also, how can you rate today's performance?
At first, my monitor is off, so I cannot hear. And now, and with the team's composure, with the team's strength, we did our part, individual.
So you mean teamwork?
Yeah.
Okay. 네, 지금은 모니터가 꺼져 있어서 말할 수는 없지만 지금 우리 전체적인 팀워크가 굉장히 좋았다는 평을 들었습니다. 또 다음으로 이 NDG 선수만 팀 내 새로운 멤버로 합류했는데 어떻게 적응을 하고 있는지, 그리고 또 지난 경기에 비해서 굉장히 활약을 많이 보였거든요. 그거에 대해서 좀 물어보도록 하겠습니다. NDG, you're the only freshman in your team, so how are you adapting to the team? And comparing to the last match you had, you really performed well, so can you tell us about that?
Just probably a bad start, but moving forward, we'll do our best.
Oh, so how about your teammates? Are they like good too?
Yeah, they've been supporting me to adapt to the changes and many more.
Okay. 네, 분명 다른 선수들이 적응을 할 수 있게 많이 도와주고 있고, 또 시작은 조금 힘들었습니다. 첫 번째 매치 때는 힘들었는데 이제 두 번째 경기에서 이게 우리가 준비하고 노력한 걸 많이 보여줘서 만족스럽다는 답변으로 이어갔습니다. So it was a clean win on map 1 and a neck and neck match on map 2, but did you expect to be a 2-0 win? 이제 맵 1에서는 좀 깔끔하게 이겼는데 맵 2에서는 굉장히 아슬아슬한 경기를 보였어요. 그래서 2-0 승리를 예상을 했을지 물어보겠습니다.
If we do our best, we probably expected 2-0. Yeah.
Oh,
so and
really?
we did it.
Oh, so you expect another 2-0 for the next match? Okay. 열심히 연습한 결과 2-0 승리를 이끌 수 있을 거라고 예상했고, 다음 경기에도 예상을 한다고 아주 굳센 마음을 전했습니다. So congratulations again.
Thank you.
There's one more event left for the fans. Your signature on the doll, right there.
There?
You need to write your signature on the doll. It's a cute little bear, and you can throw it to the fans. It's a lucky doll, so whoever gets it, it's a lucky day. Yes, on the back. So any fans, raise your hands or scream. Anyone in the back? NDG, NDG. You can go front of the fans, yeah, or the back. NDG, NDG. Okay. It's going to the front. Sorry for the back row fans. Oh, nice catch. Okay, thank you for the interview, NDG. This was TS showing great performance, and next up we have Talent and DRX coming up, so wait for that, guys. I'll toss it back to the desk.
First day jitters. First day jitters. It's like, no, never mind. Forget the first match that we had. That was just a fluke. We had some issues. We're back now. That's what Team Secret says with that 2-0.
It seems to be the case. I mean, this was the performance that we were expecting from them in that opening series. Obviously, if they played at this level, who knows what would have happened. Talon's still looking strong, but this is a very necessary win. They keep themselves alive in the tournament, and they're also reinstating some hope. And good God, every time I have any amount of hope in you, Team Secret, you shatter it, and then when I give up, you always show up.
I mean, I know some people were saying Team Secret predictable as ever, right? As soon as we start predicting against them, that's when they show up and they perform. But jokes aside, obviously, NDG kind of taking his stride as well. Like, oh, well, my monitor was off during the first match. I finally learned how to turn it on. I mean, it shows. He performed up to the expectation that some people had of, like, we know he's mechanically good. Can he put those scores up against some of the other pros? And today he says, yes, I'm right there.
Not to mention, we had a big question on whether Jeremy would be able to deliver, and it goes to show in the brief map, he definitely did, and he did get those operator plays, he did get those entries, as we were expecting him to, especially with a lot of pressure on him being that solo duelist.
Yeah, we saw a big improvement from him. I mean, last time out, 5-8 as far as first kills, first deaths. This time, 10-8, so doubling that amount. Getting punished about the same, but finding way more value. The team was playing around him. They were setting him up for a lot more success. And when he had that operator in his hands, he was finding a lot more consistent kills.
Yeah, and that gives him the confidence to pick up something like the Outlaw as well, which really punished DFM once again, trying to stick to the half armor to try to keep themselves in the game economically. You can't rely on that as much anymore with the Outlaw in this patch of Valorant. I also want to say, I mean, NDG, now that he's getting the kills, he has the confidence to go for these deep lurks, right? To try to open up more space when they need to do so.
Yeah, I think like with you brought up the Outlaw, I kind of like that you have some duelists venturing and kind of like taking ownership of the Outlaw. We did see Texture, of course, with that first ace. It looks like Jeremy has the potential to actually pick that up and make that his gun as well.
Yeah, I mean, the Governor was using it against them, so might as well just pick it up yourself and start using it against your own opponents. As long as you can hit those shots, then, it has an immense amount of value. So it was a very good look. But as you mentioned, NDG, I mean, what a glow up for him in particular. Came out of that last game. I mean, collectively, Team Secret, after playing Talon, was -54. -21 was NDG. So he was a huge percentage of their deaths in that game. This time he comes out and he goes positive by 7 across the 2 maps.
Yeah, and Jeremy, of course, again, we mentioned obviously the long-range duels, but just overall, I mean, the overall KD really leading the charge here as that primary duelist, picking up the support that everyone's providing him. I would say Envy starting to look once again a bit more comfortable that we're used to seeing from him, but last year, we had to expect him to be the hard carry. Now Jeremy saying, no, I'll take on that mantle as that duelist.
Yeah, you gotta love it when it's an Envy and Jeremy like really leading the charge, right?
Yes.
I love that combination, and I love seeing Envy back on the initiator role, especially since like we saw him earlier flexing over to the controller. We know that he can flex. I just feel like for Team Secret, this mix is a lot better, especially when you need like the extra punch to help Jeremy in there, right? It's like kind of like Envy is that dedicated initiator for Jeremy, while Vash kind of like just opens up the lay of the land.
Yeah, and now look at the bracket. My biggest question is every group going to have a rematch? Because A and C are already on their way for a revenge match, and now Team Secret says we're ready for our own as well.
I mean, either way you cut it, it's a rematch for Team Secret. It's either they play against the same opponents that they had already today, or they go up against DRX. And Team Secret was the only team to beat DRX in the regular season. So that in itself, there's a bit of a grudge there that's held by DRX.
Well, speaking of DRX, before anything else, of course, we do have DRX versus Talon coming up. Another very exciting match with a lot of history as well to look forward to. So that'll be coming right up after this very quick break. We'll be right back.
Red Bull gives you wings. Red Bull gives you wings.
After hosting champions in Europe and the Americas, in 2024 we'll take Valorant's biggest moment of the year to a new part of the world. A place where esports resonates through the very soul of the culture. Welcome to Seoul, Korea. Korea is synonymous with esports. It's home to some of the greatest competitors of all time, the Vct Pacific League, and one of Valorant's most passionate communities. We wanted to come here for a while, and we're very excited to bring champions to Asia for the very first time.
Let's get away with murder! Unreal! Oh, it's gorgeous! Even one! What a monster! The villains have had their day!
This August, the 16 best Valorant teams in the world will converge here for a chance to write their names in the history books. From August 1st to the 25th, champions will take over the city and crown the 2024 Valorant World Champion.
제일 큰 세계 대회에서 한번 우승컵을 들어보고 싶어요.
챔피언스는 또 중요한 대회니까 모든 선수들이 기다려왔던 무대죠. 챔피언스 우승이 목표예요. 진짜 우승밖에 없는 것 같아요. 무조건 이제 우승해야 되고 발로란트 챔피언스 우승 트로피 아닐까요? 마스터즈는 챔스를 가기 위한 하나의 길을 뿐이니까 챔피언스를 기약하고 챔피언스는 또 중요한 챔피언스 우승 못하는 제일 큰 세계 대회를 가기 위한 이제 저희 목표는 이제 챔피언스 우승 최종 있습니다. 진짜 우승밖에 우승하고 당당히 트로피를 들어올리고 싶습니다.
Look in my eyes, you seeing victory. We ain't taking L's, death to our enemies. You see the drip on me, you cannot get with me. You cannot stop me. Sit back and wait. We ain't going nowhere. We ain't got no fear. Sit back and take notes. Cause homie, we get here. Into the jungle. One in the world, you one of my nerves, you never return, when you enter in the jungle.
We are back with our second series of the day, and it's going to be between DRX and Talon Esports. I am so looking forward to this matchup, especially since both of these teams had such a fantastic debut, right? We had the 2-0 for DRX. We saw the power of Flashback, or adding Flashback over to the roster, and we saw Talon with the biggest bang that Pacific has seen so far.
Yeah, I mean, it was a really huge performance from Talon. Flashback looking great, but this was a matchup that we thought last season was going to be really hyped once we got into the regular season, because it was that rematch coming in after lock-in where these teams were fighting amongst each other to try to make it into the top 4. DRX obviously was able to take it right then and there, and then when they faced each other in the regular season, things were a bit weird, to say the least. But we've got a different identity, different players for both of these teams, and right now they both look very, very good.
Yeah, I think the biggest difference, obviously, with this revamped roster for Talon is, although the last year Talon also had a decent start at lock-in, this year the energy seems to really match that, right? Last year it seemed to be a bit more of the whimsy factor kind of carrying that energy, whereas this year it is the confidence of players like Governor that's really pushing them forward.
Yeah, I like that you brought that up, because it did feel like at that, at that face-off during lock-in, it feels like DRX cut that momentum from Talon, and it seemed like it was very doable, right? Right now, it just seems like Talon is the kind of team that you would back away from, especially since, again, as we mentioned, we have Governor, but on the side of DRX, we have Flashback. This is such an exciting matchup because these are the two new faces, new talents that we're going to be seeing in this matchup, Achilles.
Yeah, and they have both very much impressed. Flashback, this guy, again, since his debut back at the 10 Invitational during the offseason, a little bit of a rocky start, but then really started picking up steam right here off the rip for Vct Pacific. He looks incredible, and the same very much could be said for Governor.
Yeah, I mean, these guys are leading the charge in their respective roles after the opening matches for all teams, right? Putting up the highest ranking so far, and surely they will have to face off against each other throughout this upcoming match because, again, it is the Duelist versus a Sentinel. At some point, it's going to have to be Governor who's trying to break into a site that Flashback is trying to hold. Now, Flashback, I mean, just slow and steady, calm and collected. Just look at the way that he's able to anchor down in one position, micro movements, so just to make sure that he stays in the fight.
I mean, there's been a lot of talk about Flashback, of course. How could you not, right? But I want to turn some attention over to Foxy9 because last year he was on the Duelist role, right? But now we see him potentially flexing a bit. It was his first time on a controller during the match against DFM, and it feels like he is giving this space so that you do have players like Flashback able to hard lock into their roles, and you do have, Buzz able to take that spotlight still.
Sure, and this feels like DRX are just finally doing with Foxy9 what they've always been so very good at, which is take a crack Jet player and make him play something else. You move him over here.
Is that a theme? That seems to be a theme.
I mean, they did it with Mako, and look at where he's at right now in his career. So they're looking to do that again here with Foxy9. They finally have had a lot more time to develop and build up his flexibility here for the roster, and so far he has looked good. I mean, seeing Foxy9 controller, it might feel weird, it might feel wrong, but it was working out for them, at least in the opening series.
And it's almost necessary for this roster of DRX because you have someone like Flashback who's just so built as a Sentinel. Then you have someone like Buzz who's so built to entry into a site to create space. So Foxy9, I mean, obviously you can see it. He's more than just happy to be able to play all the matches on stage with this core 5. So trying to carry that through. Meanwhile, Talon, one of the biggest changes we have is Cruz is no longer leading the team in game. It's Lenny. And he showed that he really prepared for this during the offseason in their previous match against Secret.
And I think at that was one of the biggest questions mark that we had surrounding Talon, and why some of us had some lower expectations for them, was because handing the reins over to somebody that has not been publicly proven to be able to really guide a team, that's a very concerning thing. But Lenny definitely stepped up to the occasion. Not only was he IGLing incredibly well for the side of Talon, he was also fragging out of control. We saw both of the IGLs in their respective matches actually looking good, with Sax kind of having a return to form, those days of old where he was playing that breach and consistently putting up firm numbers.
Yeah.
I think that, Lenny, you bring him up and it's
Information.